Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome fans, followers, and listeners. Welcome to episode 61 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. My name is Matt, and I will be your co host today.
And I'm another co-host, Joe.
And on episode 61 today, first of all, sorry for the delay. Got some personal issues to deal with, so this episode has been pushed a week, which means that we have an unreal amount
Yeah,
of films to talk about. There's a bunch of
this,
releases,
this is
but
probably the most we've ever had to talk about
yeah,
one time, right?
I mean, it's the Wicked Gladiator II
That alone is like,
weekend.
yeah,
So that's one thing. And then also, we got to see Juror number 2. We wanted to talk about Heretic
yeah,
a little bit. And the film that I recommended last episode was Swingers. And I think we both ended
yeah,
up really enjoying that. So,
yeah,
so that's what, 5 films there? It's
yeah,
got to be our biggest slate.
yeah.
And then tons of movie news, couple trailers. We could get into How to Train Your Dragon live action. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the biggest
That's the
one
biggest one, yeah.
we'll discuss. And
Well,
then yeah, our top 10 this week is top 10 summer blockbusters.
yeah, it's
So
pretty
I
cool.
guess yeah, sorry. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, no, no.
All right, let's get into it. So I'll start by giving a little synopsis of Juror number 2, which is directed by Clint Eastwood. Here we go. While serving as a juror in a high profile murder trial, family man Justin Kemp finds himself struggling with a serious moral dilemma, one he could use to sway the jury verdict and potentially convict or free the accused killer. So this film stars Nicholas Hoult as the lead, and to give like a pretty basic synopsis, besides the one I just read, it's basically this guy gets called for jury duty, and then he realizes that he was the person that actually committed the crime that they're on trial for.
Yeah,
So it's basically him grappling with his morality and whether or not he should come clean
yeah,
or just because yeah, we'll talk a little bit more
yeah.
about it, but just
What do you? What's your
opening
initial thoughts?
thoughts, yeah, n- not really the biggest fan of this. I was very
Yeah,
disappointed considering how much of a build up it had. Like Clint Eastwood is
yeah,
obviously legendary, and this film was very hard to see. We're lucky because we're in New
yeah.
York, but apparently didn't it play in like 50
Yeah, it only played
theaters?
in 50 theaters in the US. And what's crazy is that it played in over like 400 theaters worldwide. So it wasn't like they didn't release it uh they weren't releasing it everywhere. It was like specifically in the US they didn't want it like a domestic release. I mean, I guess maybe because they didn't like the product that much, but I mean, it's still Clint Eastwood. Like I feel like he's obligated to get a theatrical release.
Yeah, just like really weird circumstances surrounding the release of this film. They're like not giving numbers for the box
Yeah,
office. It's just like strange. Like
strange.
why?
Yeah.
Why this film? And especially after seeing it, it's like nothing
Nothing
special.
special, yeah. How expensive could the movie have been?
It was probably cheap. I mean,
Like
there's
what,
only like
maybe
3
5-10 million?
notable there's only like 3 notable actors in it really.
It's him, J.K. Simmons, and Tony Colletti.
Or 4, I guess, cuz the guy who plays his attorney. I forget his name, but he's good. He's in a lot of
Uh,
stuff.
Chris Messina.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
a big fan of him actually.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it just like it's kind of a bizarre film because it's like I said, Clint Eastwood is very notable. He's very legendary in the film space, obviously. And you have this like hyped up film, and then you actually sit down to watch it. And at points, like it
it's
felt like I was watching a Lifetime movie.
yeah,
Some of the actors are horrible.
horrible. Yeah,
It's really weird. The score was terrible. Like, and
it
that's not
sounded like
something.
an
Go ahead.
AI generated. Like it was just so generic and bland. There was like no and what's weird is that like the idea of this movie is really interesting. Like, but it's just like very poorly executed.
Yeah, to give more detail about how this person somehow like knew that he did the crime or whatever. It's not like he didn't like purposely
Yeah,
do it, but basically what happened was a girl got killed and the boyfriend of the girl was being brought in on trial of supposedly killing her. But what actually happened was this girl was leaving the bar and then Nicholas Holt's character was leaving the bar also, but the girl was walking. He's driving. He hits her, and then she falls into a ditch and dies. But when he hit something, he didn't know what it was. He got out of his car, didn't see anything, so just assumed it was a deer that ran off and left. So he had no idea that he did it. It wasn't like he purposely did it and was hiding
Yeah.
it. Um, but yeah, I think like the morality questions is what makes the film interesting to me
Mhm.
because there's also a lot about like what is morally right here? Because the person
Yeah.
who's being accused of all this stuff is like a terrible person
Just
who's done terrible things, but he didn't actually do this. And then Nicholas Holt's character is like a good person who's like living a good life and is an
life, yeah.
honest, nice man, but like he actually did it. So it's like,
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
he low key had, like, a bunch of DUIs.
did he? I forgot about that.
Yeah. Remember,
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he didn't he like, so what happens is when he goes to the bar, he actually doesn't drink, but he orders a drink, and then that event happens, and, like, he realizes if he does come out, like, he got arrested for DUI, like, it's gonna, uh they're gonna see that he bought a drink, it's gonna make, like, his charges go up and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he'll get sent to jail,
Yeah.
basically. So I honestly really like the last 20 minutes where
Yeah.
Toni Collette is kind of she
Piecing
basically
everything together.
realizes,
Yeah.
yeah, and then she ends up showing up at his door and then the movie ends. I like how he has that conversation with her on the bench and they're just kind of
Yeah.
going back and forth about, like like who's really in the wrong
Well,
here?
yeah.
Like who deserves to be in jail?
Because she's also, like, wants to put this guy away because she's, like, a DA, right? And she's trying to run for some office
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
So, like, she's, it's a very, like, uh, they all kind of want him to get convicted. Even the jurors, like, like, Nicholas Holt's character, like, is vouching actually, like, oh, like, you should really look into this and see, like, maybe he didn't kill him. But the rest of them are like, oh, like, he's an asshole, just convict him anyway. So it's really
Yeah.
interesting how they show that.
Yeah, and that kind of like shows how he actually is a good person because he doesn't want to just throw this guy
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. I don't want to linger too long on this just because we got four more
Yeah.
movies to
Yeah.
go. Maybe we could just say what we rated it.
Yeah, I
I,
gave
I
it. Yeah, you go.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I gave it 3 stars. It's yeah. I mean the people that are like Holt, Tony Colletti, Jake, they're all fine in it. It's just like very poorly made and I don't know, very strange. I mean, granted, I think he was like, how old was he when he made this movie? Like 90? No, 83, 82, something like that.
I don't know. I have no
So
idea. He's
you know,
yeah. There's like set pictures of him, and he just
he
looks
just looks like senile.
like a decrepit old man.
Yeah,
But yeah, I gave this a 3 star. I was just very unimpressed. There are certain things that I like about the storyline. I'm a big fan of like the last 20 minutes of the film, but just the way it was made, just very strange. Just like
yeah,
completely bizarre, weird casting choices. Having these high profile actors with just like these
yeah.
unknown
Mm,
actors that are just on such lower level. And then I don't know. I got to bring up that
yeah,
score. It's terrible.
yeah.
It's not something that I usually pick up on, but I
The
don't know.
fact that it's, like, that noticeably bad is,
Yeah. So just a bizarre film,
yeah.
but I think overall, like I'm
I can't even, like, think of a
somewhat
favorite scene. I
positive.
feel like it was just so boringly, like, I don't know.
I like the scene where Tony Collette and
Oh, them
um
talking at the
Nicholas Holt are talking on the bench. Yeah. I thought
I
that
mean, I
was a
like
good
the
scene.
now that I think about it, I kinda like the ending, like, where she shows up,
Yeah. But
but, yeah.
all
Anyway,
right,
yeah,
can move on.
we'll move on to, the next movie we're gonna talk about is Heretic, which, when did this actually come out? Like, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So question everything. Two young missionaries are forced to prove their faith when they knock on the wrong door and are greeted by a diabolical Mr. Reed, becoming ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse. So I'm always like a big fan of like the religious horror stuff, so I was pretty like excited going into this. and it was really good, honestly. I think it was for the most part like pretty well made. It's very much like I feel like I don't want to say elevated horror, but like it's not like a jump scares and stuff like that. Like it's more of like a philosophical kind of horror. Like you really got to sit and think about it. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah.
definitely an elevated horror. I also am a big fan of religious horror, and I'm a big fan of Sophie Thatcher, who is the main girl in it, as well as Hugh Grant. It was cool to see him in a different kind of role
Yeah.
than we're used to. I don't think he's done horror before. I could be wrong
No.
on that, but uh, yeah, I, I enjoyed it a lot. I liked it a lot at the beginning, but then I just feel like they didn't stick the landing with what they
Yeah.
decided to do. So basically,
Yeah.
these girls, as Joe mentioned, show up to this guy's house to basically try to teach him about Jesus and I guess convert him to what is their
Mormon.
actual it's Mormon, right?
Mormon. Yeah. It's in like Utah,
And
I think, right?
yeah, at first he seems like he's interested and he's like, yeah, whatever. But then it turns out like he actually knows probably more than they do about religion.
Yeah.
It's revealed that he's been studying religion and trying to find the one true religion for so long. And there's kind of this buildup of what is the one true religion? What's it going to be?
Yeah.
And I just thought that the answer that came out of it was kind of boring, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. I don't know.
See,
I would
I
especially in a horror film, I wish they would've done something a little different, but
I see that's I kind of disagree with you on that. Like I like the idea. Oh, we're gonna get to spoilers now, but what happens is basically the he says the true religion is control. Like it's basically the movie's like a critique on how religion is used to control people. And I mean it's on the nose obviously, but like I liked it. I don't know. Cuz it's true to a point. Like everything he's saying in the movie is like is he's not like lying about shit. Like it's all like, like stuff from like he quotes the Bible and stuff from like stuff in history, you know.
yeah, there are parts where Sophie Thatcher's character, though, calls him out on shit he says and
Oh
challenges
yeah. Yeah,
him,
you're right.
and
Actually,
she
I forgot
proves
about
him
that.
wrong for that's I just feel like it's very anti-religion, and not that I'm, like, a religious maniac, but I would like to believe, like, that there's something. I don't wanna just think, like, "Oh, it's all just control." That's, like, such a pessimistic way to view that
Well, I feel like
aspect of
it's
life.
like more of a critique on like not so much like being religious, like I think more um like the church itself. Like cuz he talks about how like uh hypocritical like Mormons are cuz they have like they would have multiple wives and have like kids with all different people and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the commentary. I don't know, I just feel like in something like this, I would've liked I mean, it sounds stupid, but I would've
What?
liked the one true religion to be, like, satanic or, like, something. There's, like, a creature at the end.
I
That's, like,
mean,
dumb, but, like, in a
yeah, I
horror
get
movie,
no,
it's
yeah, you're right. I mean, like me and you, that would be cool. Like I would like that, but I feel like that's not the vibe of the movie at all.
yeah.
I feel like it would
I don't know.
instead of in that basement scene when they go down there, if he's like, oh, you're gonna discover the one true religion, and it was just like a giant fucking like demon. I feel like it would be like very strange.
It would be weird, but it would kinda go with, like,
The horror,
horror, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
I guess it becomes more of, like, a thriller, I guess.
yeah.
Um,
It's not really like so much
it's
like
it
scary. It's
it's
I
not
don't
really
know.
horror, honestly, and then, like, there's there's this plot point where, um, there's this woman who's supposed to be a saint, and he or, like, not maybe not a saint, what is she? A
The first
a
prophet, he says,
a
or something.
prophet, like, a living prophet.
Prophet, yeah.
So he brings these 2 girls into this, like, dungeon, basically, and he forces this prophet to eat poison. She dies and then somehow comes back to life. It's explained that she didn't actually come back to life. She really died. Then, like,
They
another
split, yeah.
girl that looked, like, mad similar to her came up, took her body, like, went back in that position somehow without anyone hearing or noticing. Like, it doesn't make any sense in
Yeah.
my opinion. But I don't know. I just feel like they didn't really explain enough as to, like, why these women were just doing this. Maybe I
Well,
missed
no,
it.
he said, like, they all were there, like, because of their own because of the actions they took. Like, he's saying like that. So when they initially came there, like, he presented them, like, the option to leave in the beginning, and then, like, they just keep wait, hold on. I'm kinda like,
Go
there's
for
some I'm
it.
trying to remember something from the movie that like
I'm not talking about the girls. I'm talking about, like, the woman that she kills herself.
no,
Like,
I
for what?
know.
Like, what
Wait,
reason?
wait, she kills herself?
She eats the poison and she dies.
Oh, I thought you meant, like,
Like,
fucking
why? Why? Why would she do it? And he's like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
it's about control. Like, I
well,
have
how does she
control."
know that it's poison? She probably was, like, starved in that cage for fucking mad long and just saw a pie on the table and ate it.
It seems like they want to be there, though. I just feel like they didn't really
He would
explain
like,
that
I feel
enough.
like he talked about that, like, at the end, like, but I forgot, like, how I don't know. I
I
think
don't
I
think
saw
they
this a
explained
couple
it.
weeks ago, like, and so it's, like, a little but, you know,
Yeah, I don't think they explained it well enough.
that's fair.
And I didn't like I just don't like that answer of like, "Oh, the one true religion is control." It's like it's lazy in my opinion.
It's fair.
I don't know. It just seems like an obvious thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Hugh Grant was good. Sophie Thatcher was good. There are some good elements. There was actually a really disgusting body horror scene where he goes into her arm. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
and he takes out
nasty.
the birth control.
Yeah. Also, dude, the ending. What the fuck was that? She's
What?
supposed to be like
Oh,
she
yeah, she fucking yeah, that was very weird. So, basically, they bring him in that basement and he kills one of the girls, like cuts her throat. I mean, it's not like they definitely show that it's not her jugular, but like you see her like bleeding on the floor, and it's so like time passes probably like
yeah, and
what like
this
fucking
is Sophie Thatcher's character, by the
yeah
way. Hugh Grant kills her.
yeah. Sorry for context.
Yeah.
But it's what at least like
I would say 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I mean, I get that they didn't show the like they definitely make it clear like it's not her jugular, but like still, if you're laying on the floor like with a giant cut in your neck, like you're still gonna bleed out.
Yeah, it does. And then at the end of the movie, basically what happens is I forget what Hugh Grant's character is doing. I think he's trying to kill the other girl, right?
I feel like
He's trying to kill her, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
And then
I think someone knocks on the door or something.
oh yeah, it was the guy looking
The
for them.
guy, yeah. What's his name? Topher Grace.
Yeah. Yeah, but
But
I'm saying like that ending where Sophie Thatcher just comes out of nowhere and somehow she's alive and she
yeah, it
kills
was
Hugh
very
Grant
weird. Yeah,
and
it
then just
didn't make
like
any sense.
instantly dies after.
Dies.
It was one thing I
Weird.
did like is that once Hugh Grant realizes he's gonna die, he kinda, like, does start praying.
Yeah,
So he turns to God in his last moments, even though he was saying, like, "Oh, it's all about control, this and that," because,
yeah.
you get to that point, you're about to die, you're scared. You're, like, hoping that there's
You don't.
something
Yeah, you
else,
don't know
you know?
what's next.
So, interesting
Yeah,
interesting concepts, but I just don't think it fully came together as much as I would've liked.
yeah,
So, yeah, sorry we're kinda, like, rambly on these, it's been a while since we
yeah.
saw them,
Um,
but,
did you have a favorite? What was your favorite scene?
mm I kinda like the beginning part
Yeah, I was gonna
where
say that when they first come in the house, like that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
sorta like them first meeting him and
yeah.
feeling each other out. I like that whole sequence, and you could feel like it starts getting more and
The
more tense.
tension. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think they were saying like his wife is supposed to be like in that situation like God, and then like he's showing them all like evidence like oh like being real sus about it like oh like uh my wife's here like oh she's gonna come out and stuff like that, and so he's giving them evidence that like something's like wrong like maybe his wife isn't there, but like they just continue to kind of believe that she is,
That honestly makes sense. I didn't even think about it like that, but
you know.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But,
I thought that was really
alright.
smart. That's why I
Yeah,
like that scene.
that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna get to ratings
Yeah.
on this
So
one?
I gave it a 3.5, so 7 out of 10. Honestly, like the 2/3 of the movie are like really good, and then once they get into the actual like basement, it kind of goes off the rails a little bit. But I mean, it's still really, I really enjoyed it. What was it? Brian Woods and Scott Derrick, I think, is the directing duo.
I
This is
believe
like,
so.
this is definitely their best. Like their other movie was like that movie 65 with Adam Driver. So I was like kind of surprised that this is like a very kind of smart movie.
Yeah, and this had been getting a lot of buzz too. Like
Yeah,
I remember seeing like, oh, it had a 90 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes and like all this shit. It was good though.
yeah,
I also gave it a 3.5. I feel like up until they get into that basement area, it would have been like a 4. But I
yeah.
think it kind of lost me in the last act.
Fair. Yeah,
Still was an enjoyable film, but
yeah.
I wish I liked it a bit more. So,
I hope to see Hugh Grant do more horror stuff in the future.
yeah. It seemed like he had a good time. He was
Yeah.
really getting into his character, so
And honestly, I've never Sophie Thatcher. I haven't really seen. I know it says that she's in Maxine, but I don't even remember who plays in Maxine.
she plays like the makeup artist that does the she like pours the resin on Maxine's head for that one scene.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's in it like briefly. She's also in that movie The
Gonna be-
Boogeyman.
Oh
That
really?
is kind of
She's
underrated.
she's gonna be in that movie Companion. The
Yeah,
guy
with the
with the
Or Dennis? No,
yeah
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. When is
Um,
that coming out? That's supposed to be this
I
year,
think
right?
January. I'm pretty sure January.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, that looks good.
yeah. Alright.
But yeah,
I guess we'll move on to the next film. These next 2 films will
these will
go
be
more in
yeah,
depth on. And I guess we'll start with Wicked Part
yeah,
1 we could talk about. I'll read the synopsis.
yeah,
I got it here. So, Elphaba, an ostracized but defiant girl born with green skin, and Galinda, a privileged aristocrat born popular, become extremely unlikely friends in the magical land of Oz. As the two girls struggle with their opposing personalities, their friendship is tested as both begin to fulfill their destinies as Glinda the Good and the Wicked Witch of the West. So, as you guys know, most hopefully that this is based on a musical, like a Broadway
yeah.
production, and it's set in the world of the Wizard of Oz. It basically just explains the backstory of like the Wicked Witch of the
Which
West and Glinda the Good.
Glinda.
I've seen the Broadway. I really like it.
Yeah,
Um, I know you've seen it as well, Joe.
yeah. And honestly, Wicked is like one of my favorite plays. So this was really good. It was honestly on par with the Broadway show, in my opinion. Like,
I, yeah, I think the show is a
I
bit
mean,
better.
obviously, the show is it's always gonna be better with a live performance and that
Yeah,
whatnot. But I mean, it felt like pretty like kind of what's the word? I don't want to say replicate, but it had kind of that big feel, like Broadway kind of feel. Like the sets were
yeah,
massive and stuff, and I thought that was really cool.
yeah. It felt very grand.
Yeah. And
Um,
dude, we also went on like the fan experience on Wednesday. It was dead ass like going to a fucking Avengers movie. There was like people dressed up, like everyone was buying like the I don't know, like the merch and stuff from the whatever, the cups and stuff that they
yeah,
sell.
yeah.
Like it was honestly really cool to see people excited for movies like that.
Yeah, I love when stuff like this happens. Like, especially a lot of my friends who aren't necessarily into movies, especially particularly girls, are like posting about watching this on their
Yeah.
story and like shit like that that you don't usually see, you know. So I like whenever there's a big event movie like this. It seems like it's gonna make a lot of money too.
Yeah. I
I
think
feel like it reminds
what?
me of Barbie in like the release kind of.
Yeah, it definitely had a really good marketing campaign.
Yeah, the
Like
marketing
is
was
all over
massive.
the fucking place. I mean, we're from like for those of you who don't know, we're from New York, so like it's the play originated from here, so there's like marketing all over the fucking city. Like every subway station has Wicked stuff. Like they went all out.
Yeah. I was telling Joe, like, when I commute to work in the morning, I have to take the subway. So, the subway station that I go to every day, it's in Times Square. All of a sudden, one day, I just show up there and the entire thing is filled with Wicked posters everywhere, like character posters and even like the beams that are that are like
Yeah,
supporting the subway station. Like each beam like had a different character poster on it. And I was like, "Holy shit."
yeah,
I've never seen another movie have that before. It was just this movie. So, and honestly, it worked, the
yeah,
marketing, because
yeah.
I think
Props to them. Yeah,
You said, or you were saying before it made like 150
Yeah,
million or
so it
something?
it made, like, 118, I think, domestically and, like, 60 internationally, so it's, like, at, like, what,
180-ish.
yeah, so, so it already made the budget back for the first also, the combined budget, because it's Wicked Part 1 and Part 2, is 350,000,000. It's probably gonna make that back on this movie alone, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Um, I could definitely see this having legs, like, through the holidays and stuff like that. It doesn't there's not really I mean, Moana 2 is, like, the next big thing, but after that, there's not much in its way.
Yeah. I saw that they're gonna do like a sing-along version.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
gonna
that'll
be
that'll do f you know
it's gonna release on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
I saw some people were saying, because Nosferatu
Yo,
comes out
Nosferatu,
Christmas Day.
yeah.
So it was like me when I'm trying to watch Nosferatu and, I hear like the insane vocals from the next theater over. Hopefully we
That's
don't have
funny.
that issue, but
Yeah,
I doubt it. It's
but
kinda
yeah.
like when the fucking Taylor Swift thing was happening.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that actually when they did the concert.
Yeah.
Um,
But but
but yeah.
yeah, I guess to talk a little bit about the movie itself, I guess we could start with the casting because
Yeah,
it was
fantastic, honestly, like,
yeah,
I thought everybody was extremely well cast.
I agree. That's, like, probably the thing I like most about the film is how well cast everyone was. I was a little bit nervous about Ariana Grande. Not that I'm, like, a huge Wicked fan where I'm like, "Oh, Glenda has to be perfect," like, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck, but
Yeah.
I feel like Ariana Grande being cast was kinda just like, "Oh, like, we're trying to get a big name here." That's because she doesn't really act anymore.
No.
Like, what has she been in?
She
I'm
I honestly, this is, like, her first kind of real, like, big role, like, and if everything else she's been in is probably, like, extended cameo shit, like, I don't think she's actually you know?
yeah.
But this is, like,
I mean, it's a
every
musical, so it's
yeah.
different. She's, like, a
This is,
musical
like,
artist,
I
but
feel like this is every actress's, like, dream role is to get, like, Glinda. That's, like, the role that, like, girls think about, like, when they're kids, like, that they wanna play when they're older. Like,
yeah.
mad people fucking audition for it, but I'm also happy that they actually cast, like, singers in the role, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah, because the music was really good.
music's fantastic, yeah.
I'm a big
Well,
fan of, like, the soundtrack. Not that I fucking listen to it or anything, but
I fucking listened to it, dude, it was sick. I have, like, fucking 3 songs downloaded already. But it's Cynthia Erivo is the other girl, she was also
yeah,
fantastic as well.
she was
Um,
good. I
yeah.
honestly, like, the press tour has been weird. I'm really not a big fan of the actress. She's like
I honestly have no idea. I don't really I know that, like, the press tour's been very strange, like, with the videos and stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know too much about her.
The one thing that pissed me off was, like,
Oh, the
someone made a fan poster to, like, match you know how there's that Wicked poster where it's, like, Glinda whispering in Elphaba's ear?
and it's, like,
That's,
her
like
covering her eyes.
yeah, it's, like,
It's not
covers
it's
her
her
eyes.
hat, the way the hat is, it's, like,
She
covering
has
her.
red lipstick, so someone just recreated that, except with, like, the live action actresses, which is, like they were just they wanted to recreate the original poster
Yeah,
just for fun. It was, like, something that they wanted to do, whatever. I don't think it's a big deal. Then, like, Cynthia Erivo posts on her story and is like, "How are you trying to erase me by covering my eyes? Like, this is so messed up." Like, bro, like, who gives a fuck? Like, they're
yeah.
not trying to erase you. They're just trying to mimic that original poster. It's just, like, the level of
I feel like she probably
like
just, like, misinterpreted the
just,
you
like,
know?
no social awareness at all. Like, it's such a why would you come at your own fans for, like, doing that? It's just so weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the press tour has been strange. Uh, I feel like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, like, they have, like, so much love and chemistry with each other in the press tour to a point where it, like, seems like they're faking it. So, I,
I
like,
mean,
don't
I feel like
fully
they
buy
probably
it,
got
but
close, dude,
yeah.
filming. I mean, they filmed 1 and 2 back to back, and they've been,
Oh, so 2 is filmed already?
yeah, 2's filmed already.
Oh, okay. I
2
was gonna
comes
ask
out
about that.
it comes out net like, a year from, it comes out a year from, like, today or yesterday or something like that. Like, it's already
That's
shot.
yeah, that's actually smart. I'm glad they did that.
So, I'm assuming they probably, like and I feel like usually these people in these like, on the Broadway play, like, people get pretty close. Like, the two girls like from the original one, Idina Menzel and I forgot the other actress. They're like, I mean, I'm not like this. Them are acting in the way they're acting on the press tour definitely is strange. But I mean, I don't. I think they definitely are friendly. I don't think that's fake.
Yeah, it's just it seems like a little
Very
bit too
weird.
much. It's
Yeah,
very strange. Um,
but
but yeah, I
but
don't know.
yeah. But anyway, besides like that aside, they both are very very good in this. Also, I thought the guy Jonathan Bailey was also really good as Rayo. I don't know. Oh, Ferrero. What the hell did they say his
I
name?
think it was
Or
Ferrero.
Fierro maybe? Fierro.
Fiero.
He was great. Jeff
Yeah, he was
Goldblum
good.
was also great. That was like another really perfectly cast role.
Yeah, he was perfect. I
Yeah,
like just some of the line deliveries he had, I was like, this is actually perfect casting.
yeah, yeah. And Ethan Slater as Bach was
He was
good
good.
too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, like everybody was very well cast. That's probably one of the strongest thing about the movie. The sets also, we spoke about that earlier, but
Yeah. I really think Ariana Grande though was the best. I mean, like
it's close.
Elphaba, I could see someone else portraying that, but I like can't imagine anyone else in that Glinda role. Like how well she did that. Just
Yeah,
like the ditziness and like the petite kind of frame that she has. It's like
yeah,
perfect for that character. And
yeah,
I saw there was like a list of
yeah. I sent it to
um
you.
yeah, you sent it to me of like other people that auditioned and I'm like trying to picture them in that role and I just couldn't.
I
But
think
then I
honestly, uh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, not Dove Cameron. Who? There was another girl I was thinking of that I thought could have done a decent role.
I think you said Dove Cameron.
It,
You
w-
texted it to me.
I know, but I'm wrong. It's not her. It's oh,
You could pull up
Amanda Seyfield.
Seyfried.
Seyfried.
Uh, she's a good actress. I don't know if she could have done this. I'm sure she could have, but I don't know if it would have been as good
No,
as
I don't. Yeah, that's like just you know
I know Lady Gaga apparently auditioned for Elphaba. That would have been
that would have
interesting.
been cool too. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
she would have like done great.
yeah,
I feel like they
but
wanted younger though,
yeah,
even though she's not old per se. Like
mhm. Yeah, I also saw, like, Idina Menzel apparently auditioned too, so I guess they didn't wanna have, like, the same cast as the
probably.
original or something. Maybe
Yeah,
she's a bit older now, but she got the cameo, which is kinda cool.
yeah,
Her and the other girl who plays, Glinda in the Broadway.
yeah. Did you see like Do you see the similarities with Frozen a little bit?
Yeah, I could see it with, like, villainizing one of the 2 girls, and they're not actually evil. Because Elsa is supposed to be, like, this evil queen, right, in
Yeah.
Frozen, but she's
Hmm.
actually not.
Hmm.
I definitely yeah, I see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
But what was your favorite, song or, like or, musical
Uh,
number?
I mean, the Defying Gravity is like that's always been my favorite, and bro, like I don't the soundtrack is just like so like the I don't know I want to know the term. I guess like I want to say like epic. Like it just feels so like grand with like the orchestra and shit. Like that opening scene with them with the that was great, dude. Like this I don't know, like like with the way they bring out the giant witch thing and
Yeah.
that song was great.
It was, like, very much
Yeah.
Broadway-esque, just how they did everything.
The scale and everything, yeah.
Yeah. I really liked, Loathing. I thought
Yeah,
that
Loathing.
that scene was or that, like, whole music number,
Sequence? Yeah.
that sequence was really well done.
Yeah.
Popular was good too. That's the name of it, right? I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
Popular.
I thought that one was good. The Defying Gravity, I think that was, like, a great final sequence to end the
Yeah.
film on, where it's just her kinda, like, taking on this Elphaba taking on this role
Yeah.
as, like, this wicked witch, you know? So,
That
that was
line
good.
that line is like, very famous, "The wizard should be afraid." I love that line.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Also, it's a 4.2 on Letterboxd right now, which is crazy. I mean,
yeah,
I give it a 4.5, and I mean, spoiler for my rating, but, um, I did not think it was gonna thought it'd be like a 3.8 or something like that.
yeah, 4.2 is very high,
Yeah.
but it's
I mean,
also one of
it's
the
good, like, it's very
it's
good, I
one of
mean
those things where it's like, if you like the Broadway, you're gonna like this, you know?
Yeah.
And the only way you're gonna see this probably is if you're into musicals and if you, like, enjoy the Broadway production, so it's most likely gonna have really positive ratings,
Yeah.
at least for now.
But I mean,
Once
the story is good. Like that
It's
that's
good,
never, that was never in
it's good.
question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was more like how everything else was gonna be that was gonna determine the movie.
Is it really, like, ever explained why the wizard wants to, like, not let animals speak? He just, like, wants an
Uh,
an
I don't
enemy for the people?
I don't
That's c
know. I feel like they're gonna um so obviously they had part 2. Um I think they're probably gonna try to do a third, like write a third one about like because do you remember what happens at the end of part of like at in Wicked at the end?
No, honestly. I forget. Like,
All
don't
right,
really remember part 2 at all,
I
to
don't
be
want to
honest.
spoil it then. So like there's like definitely room for them to tell another like more stories after the events of the Wizard of Oz. If that makes sense.
Okay. But why don't
Um
do you think it's possible that they could do Wicked Part 2 and then just, like, remake The Wizard of Oz?
uh I don't I feel like the thing is with that, like it's such like a I don't know. Like
It's
imagine here
tough.
there's gonna
No
be
one's ever done a remake of it.
yeah. There's been different takes on it.
Yeah,
Like
like the one with Michael
with
Jackson.
the Wiz.
Yeah.
Um
Isn't there, like, Muppets Wizard of Oz?
is it really?
I think there is. I
I
could have
didn't know
made that
that.
up. I might have just
Dude,
completely made that up.
I hope not. No, you're right, dude.
There is?
Muppets Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was in it?
Kermit.
Uh,
Um,
Quentin Tarantino's in it.
that is very strange.
Is this the right like? Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, this
Yeah,
isn't
I don't
on the
know.
watch list, dude.
I feel like they could I don't know, I feel like that's the next step, you know? It's never been remade, and they got money bags in their eyes right now, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Oh, you're
we'll
gonna
see.
let what's his name? Is it gonna be a musical though? That you know what? That's actually
I mean, it is a musical
it is
though,
a
kind
musical.
of.
Yeah, it is. I was actually thinking about that yesterday because I saw like clips of uh the Wizard of Oz online, just like because stuff going on with Wicked, and like I was like, is it? I had to think about like if it
It's
was a
not, like,
musical or not.
as much of
As
a
Wicked,
musical. Yeah, but there are
I'd be
definitely songs in it.
I'd be more interested in like maybe like a more musical version of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so at least it has differences.
Different, yeah. Because like if you're just gonna tell the story over again, what's the point?
So in Wicked Part 2, does Dorothy get introduced at
Yes,
all?
yeah.
She's in the play? I really don't
She
remember.
doesn't like. I don't think she like actually speaks. Like she's in like scenes and stuff. But like I don't
I
think she
know
actually says anything.
Yeah, I know some of the characters from Wicked become, like, the
Yeah.
Scarecrow and the
Hmm.
Tin Man and whatnot.
Yeah. That I
Um,
actually don't like. That I kind of. That's why I'm not as big of a fan of part two. Well, like the second half of the play.
yeah, I watched it probably, like, 5 years ago, maybe,
Oh,
6.
I went like maybe a year ago.
Yeah, so I don't really remember it as much,
Yeah.
but,
But yeah.
yeah, I really like the film. It just kinda, like, did everything it was supposed to. It's, like, exactly what I expected from a Wicked
Hmm.
movie, which is not a bad thing.
No.
They just did the right things. People complained about, like, the color grading, and I don't know. I didn't really have an issue with it.
It honestly wasn't as bad as I thought. There's definitely some strange lighting choices.
Mhm.
Like, do you remember the Dancing Through Life one? Like where they're like in the library, kind of with the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Like the lighting in that like dance number is so weird. It almost is like too bright, like the white in the background. Like it almost felt like I had to wear fucking sunglasses.
I don't really remember that being a problem for me,
Really?
honestly.
Oh, maybe I was
Yeah.
stroking out or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The technical stuff was, like, fine. It wasn't, like,
Yeah,
outrageous where I was like, "Oh, this is so good," but it wasn't, like, bad,
yeah,
you know? Apparently, a lot of it was practical. They supposedly planted, like, couple
yeah. I saw
thousand,
that.
like, flowers for, like, a 1-second shot of, like, a field of lilies. It's really weird. I
Yeah,
mean, the thing they
but
decided to do
honestly, I
practical
like
is that.
I like them doing that. Fuck it. Like I like that they just wanted to build these sets. And they could have just done like a CGI thing the whole time. You
Yeah,
know, I like that they
yeah.
actually like you see the budget where it went.
Mhm. Do you think Wicked itself, like, adds too much to the lore? Is it even necessary?
What do you mean?
Like, from the lore of The Wizard of Oz, like,
Um,
did these people need backstories?
I mean, I feel like it's more just like they found a good story to tell about, and just put it's like in the like just takes place in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Like Alphaba and Glinda doesn't, like nothing from the Wizard of Oz would make you assume that like they're friends, right? Like, don't they never? I don't think they mention it.
yeah, they don't.
So I feel like they just wrote like they wanted to do a story about, I guess, two female characters together. Because I know at the time, like when they came out on Broadway, it was like a big deal because like that was the first time it was ever two female co-leads. Because usually it's like a male and female, so that
Yeah,
was like a big deal at the time. So maybe
that's
like
yeah, that's really interesting, I didn't know that.
yeah, so it would maybe I'm thinking that's maybe why, but
Yeah. So, does Elphaba end up with Fiero, low key?
um,
I
you're
feel
gonna
like
have
she
to
does,
watch what
right?
happens.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to watch.
Alright.
I'm not
I'll
fucking
wait and see.
yeah.
Also, I don't for some reason, I, like, don't remember there was, like, that big of an emphasis on animals in the play.
Nah, it's talked about. It's stuff like all the scenes in the movie that happen, like that discuss animals, like happen in the play.
So, what that scene where they
With
write,
the
like,
chalk,
"Oh,"
yeah, that
with
happens
the
in the play. Yeah,
do they ever say who does it? Because they never said it in
no,
the
it's just supposed to be like a class, like one of the classmates.
I assumed Glinda did it at first, but I
No,
feel like
honestly, one thing I'll give the play, the not the play, the movie is that because it's like there's no time limit, like it has a lot of time, so they really are able to flesh out the characters better than in the play, in my opinion. Not a fault of the play. I'm just saying, like, because there's so much time, like, there's things I didn't pick up on, like in the play that happened, like in this.
yeah. I feel like I wanna go see it again.
No, yeah, I'll go, dude. What are we waiting for?
Maybe we'll go with Alexandra
Yeah,
or
we're going else,
something.
yeah.
But,
But
yeah, I guess, favorite I already asked, I mean, favorite scene, favorite song, probably the same,
yeah,
right? Favorite character? Glinda for
Alpha,
me, I think.
Alpha. I mean, it's like either or.
Yeah. I liked Elphaba. I just feel like Glinda I just can't get
Yeah.
over the casting, how perfect it was with Ariana Grande, and it
I'm
was something that I was doubting going in, so I was glad to
yeah.
be proven wrong there.
I'm looking at like set photos of Wicked Part 2. It looks expensive. Like she has like the Fiero's got the fucking nice ass fit. He's got like a Prince Charming ass kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember I saw that pic and I was like, "Wait, that wasn't in the movie." So I was thinking like, did they film back to back? But I guess,
Yeah,
yeah, they
they
did.
did. Yeah, they interviewed the guy, John Cho, I believe his name. John M. Cho.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, they're editing it right now. He's actually doing like another. He's doing like an animated musical, based off the Dr. Seuss book, All the Places We Go, or You Go, or something like that.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was do you think it was a good idea for them to do back to back? Because
yeah, yeah,
I think it was a risk because if there was something in particular that people didn't like about the first one, they could have pivoted a little, but it seems to have paid off because everyone seems to be really loving this.
yeah. I feel
And
like this is like a home run though. Once they got it right, because I feel like there's probably been a wicked. Like, how long has this movie been in the works? I guarantee probably like 20 years. And they
yeah.
just never got like the right either script or like the right director. Um,
Yeah, because 'cause I've seen a couple, like, Broadway to movie adaptations, and
yeah,
Wicked always seemed like one that was, just
when
bound to happen.
yeah.
I've seen Rent. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's pretty
Oh, I heard
good.
about it. Oh, all
Uh,
right. So when do you think the film adaptation was announced?
I remember it being announced. It was, like, last year or 2 years ago.
No,
Alright. Just tell me.
2012.
2012?
It was initially announced in 2012.
I feel like it wasn't though. I mean,
This is
maybe it was,
Wikipedia.
but don't you remember when they said, "Oh, they're doing the Wicked movie, part 1 and 2?" That was like 2 years ago or something.
No, but that was when they finally, like, actually got it done, but this has been in the works for, like, years.
Mm, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, it's kinda like, wait, they don't have a movie of this? You know?
Yeah, and it's such, like, a cultural thing in New York, I feel like. Like, you always see wicked shit all over the place,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm. But, alright, you wanna
Yeah, we'll get
get to
to
ratings?
ratings. So I gave it a 4.5, so a 9 out of 10. It really is, like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the play, so this is, like, a home run for me. The only things I really didn't like were, like, some of the lighting in some of the scenes, but that's, like, me nitpicking. It was honestly really good, well made.
Yeah, I gave it a 4-star, 8 out of 10. If you like the play, you're gonna like the movie. It pretty much is exactly what it needs to be for fans of the play.
Yeah,
And even if you aren't familiar with it, I feel like it's still just a compelling enough story that people are gonna like it, and I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
Can't get over how good some of the casting was. And, music is really good. The songs are good, they're catchy, the music numbers are done well. So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't really have, like, many flaws with it besides kinda just my personal enjoyment of it?
yeah,
Um, Otherwise, I'd give it a higher score. But I'm interested to see part 2 and if they, expand upon it based on how much money
uh,
it makes. So,
expand on the wicked verse.
yeah, if
They're
they
100% gonna do more than part 2. Like, I did
yeah,
not a
they're
doubt in my mind uh, they saw that opening weekend.
yeah, when Elphaba shows up in Avengers: Secret Wars.
You ever see there's
Can't
that meme online, it's like Alpha, you have to distract Kang.
Yeah. Yeah, when Elphaba distracts Kang, I'm gonna be hyped.
And then so the whale can save, the multiverse.
Yep. I'm ready for that.
Alright,
Um,
but
alright,
yeah,
you wanna 2 more films.
yeah,
So,
we'll talk about
talk about
the
Gladiator
the
2.
other big release this weekend.
I
Yeah,
don't wanna get
honestly, it was like a mini kinda Barbenheimer.
Yeah, Glicked. It wasn't as hyped up for some reason, but I feel like Glickade has the same energy as Barbenheimer.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but alright. So Gladiator II. Years after witnessing the death of a revered hero, Maximus, at the hands of his uncle, Lucius is forced to enter the Colosseum after his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors who now lead Rome with an iron fist. With rage in his heart, the future of the empire at stake, Lucius must look to his past to find strength and honor to return to the glory of Rome and its people. Um, so yeah, Gladiator 2 is what, 30 years, I think? Since
Yeah,
not 30, like
like 20 I think
25,
the first one came out in, like, 2000.
2000, yeah.
I think 2000. So, yeah, maybe,
But
like, around 25 years.
honestly, like it's on par with the original. I think it's like a little bit better, but I don't know if that's just more recency bias. It's the fights are all dialed up. The cast is fantastic. I honestly forgot how good Denzel Washington was as an actor. He was amazing in this, dude. Mescal, like, and then I've seen people online say like Paul Mescal isn't like movie star material. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? He's awesome in this. Like, I could totally see him being like a head of a franchise and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, that's really my main takeaway from this film is how fucking awesome Paul Mescal is. And
Yeah.
I not that I doubted him,
But he's
but
never done like he does a lot of like romance stuff. He's never done shit like this.
yeah, he did After Sun, which is what kinda got him big.
Then
And
all of us
obviously
strangers was
obviously,
normal.
like, normal people. But he starts getting cast in all this shit, and I'm like, "Alright, like, really? Like, what's going on here?" And he just, like, blew me away in this movie.
Oh,
He
you were
was
one of
he
those?
was incredible, you know? Like,
I didn't know
there's a
like
scene
you.
at the end. What?
I thought like you always liked him.
I did, but I just was like, "Alright, this seems kinda quick that he's, like, getting cast in all these things."
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's, like, a scene at the end where he has to kinda deliver, like, a rally speech to his people, and it just, like it gave me chills. Like,
Yeah, bro, he's
it was
sick for
so
that shit.
good. Yeah. when he's like strength and honor, and then like they all just salute him.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He really has that screen presence,
Yeah.
which seeing him in After Sun, like he's good, but I didn't really think he could do something like this.
This, yeah.
It
Like, bro,
requires a lot.
he stands like toe to toe with Denzel in multiple scenes. Like he doesn't
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked about his casting as Lucius is like he looks like he's from that time period. It's like hard to explain. But
You're kind of right, honestly.
and there's even a scene where they mention it where the what the fuck is the Lucilla? Is that the mother's name?
Uh, yeah, Lucilla, I think, yeah.
His mother's looking at like a bust of Marcus Aurelius, and she basically tells Pedro Pascal's character like, "Oh, that's Marcus Aurelius," and it like zooms in, and it's supposed to like imply that it looks just like that it looks just like Paul Mescal, and it does. Like it's
Yeah.
weird, like
Yeah.
his curly hair, and like he just looks like he's from that time.
Yeah.
So that was cool because I know like Timothy Chalamet auditioned for it.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that.
I think I want to say Austin Butler too.
Well, I kind of
That's
want to
that's
see.
kind of that's why like, when this happened, I was like, really, like this guy's kind of unproven, like because they had all these big name people, bro. Who doesn't want to be the lead in Gladiator II with
Yeah.
Ridley Scott, And he was an up and comer, but really, really great casting choice there. So, the
Yeah.
story though, I thought it was pretty good. It basically is,
Like towards the end of the Roman Empire.
yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's 20 years after or something. It says it at the beginning, but Maximus's death doesn't really end up like doing anything, I guess, because there's still like all this shit going on, and there's still these
Yeah.
insane fucked up leaders, and it's basically like Lucius kind of finishing what Maximus
What
started.
started, yeah.
So there
I
are
feel like
some like
oh,
just yeah, really quick. I didn't mean to cut you off there,
no, you're good.
but there are some like character choices and motivations behind characters that are just kind of strange, and I don't fully understand. Like for some reason, Lucius like doesn't remember anything from his childhood. He doesn't remember his mother, and then all of a sudden, he just like remembers his mom out of nowhere. And then he says he's talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, like I don't want to lose anyone else that I love." Like, bro, you don't even know who she was like 10 minutes ago.
Well, I
It was
guess
just
it's
like,
just because of like his family.
yeah, but it was just like strange. They didn't really explain why he suddenly remembers or why he forgot to begin with.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
just a
that
small
it's
thing.
yeah, that was a
What were you
little
gonna
weird.
say? Sorry.
Um, Honestly, I don't remember. Oh, I wanted to talk about the fight, like the fight scenes a lot, because honestly, after Napoleon, like he's just so good. Ridley Scott is so good at getting like these large scale like fights that just feel so like grand and epic. It's amazing, honestly. I feel like I don't see any directors like do that like him.
Yeah, he's definitely got a talent for it.
I wouldn't say they're as good as I think it's a little better in Napoleon, but still, these fights were great. Like the one with the baboons, that was sick.
Yeah, there's certain things that just like don't really make sense, but you're like, fuck it, it's
Yeah, like the
cool.
rhino.
Like the rule of cool shit. No, the
Yeah.
rhino made sense, I think. Like, how the fuck did
Why?
they get sharks into that arena? That makes no sense. How the fuck?
That didn't make sense, but the guy with a fucking like straddle to a rhino was
That's more believable to me.
what?
Dude,
Dude,
how did they possibly transport sharks into an
they have
arena?
fucking it's dude, they had like the aqueduct.
They just tossed a shark in an
No, what I'm
aqueduct?
saying, like, I don't they could have like I don't know, pushed it through the fucking aqueduct. Like, cause it gets water from like some like the water comes from either like the sea or some body of water. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
fair.
Like, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, that wouldn't even make sense in real life. How did they get a shark
Nah,
there? Because
I'm
like
dude,
it's
it's a
it's
fucking
definitely yeah, it's definitely like the rule of cool thing where it's like it's so cool that it doesn't even fucking
but
matter,
like, is there
honestly.
anything like really that crazy that you're like, this is like, you know what I mean? There's nothing
I don't
really that
understand
bad.
what's so bizarre about the rhino to you.
Dude, like, you can't, like, domesticate a rhino and ride it around.
I mean, it's not like they were trying to. First of all, why not? Who says you can't do that?
Have you ever seen someone domesticate a rhino?
I mean,
You There's a reason why we don't ride rhinos into battle and where the people rode horses.
yeah, but if they could ride rhinos, like
Alright, yeah.
back in
No,
the day,
I'm not, like, shitting on it, like, it looks sick, like, I'm first of all, you ever see a Gladiator movie? None of this shit's real. Why do people like, they were like, "Oh, like, the band" that would never happen when they had the live music in one of those scenes. Like, you're a fucking loser, who cares? Sorry, that was a little mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's not like the guy whips out an iPhone and starts taking you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah,
Um, yeah. So Denzel is kind of like he ends up being kind of the twist villain of everything.
yeah,
He at first he finds this gladiator who's Paul Mescal, and he's basically claims him for his own because he sees he's got this rage in him, and uses him to basically eventually climb his way to being second in command to the emperor, and then like killing him,
yeah.
and basically becoming leader of Rome. And then Paul Mescal kills him at the end. So what happens at the end? I guess like the two warring sides like come together to make a new Rome.
I feel yeah. Oh, I mean, I feel like that's what 3 is gonna be about. They already said they're gonna do it, I think.
Yeah, Ridley Scott said he was writing the script.
And this is doing well financially too. Not
Yeah,
wicked money, but still like it made no, actually I lied. It's made like 200 million worldwide, I think. But I think it released like earlier overseas before it released here. But I
yeah.
could be wrong.
Any award buzz, you think? Any potential?
Mm, I don't know. Probably
I'm
not.
starting to slowly be on that Mescal hype train. At least I think he's gonna get nominated. I can't lie.
Really?
The first Gladiator, the fucking
Is he your pick
the
for the
the Academy loved it. So, dude, I think this year so far, from what I've seen, is very weak
it is,
for
yeah.
for a lead male performance. Right now, my favorite that I've seen is Jesse Plemons in Kinds of Kindness.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Mine's Ralph Fiennes in Conclave.
I mean, I know that's he's gonna get a nomination for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, there's really not much. Like I could see him swooping in and
Well, I
stealing
mean,
this
Timothy
guy.
Chalamet, The Complete Unknown, is like that's the only other one really.
I think that's the favorite or Coleman Domingo. I
And
haven't
Sing
seen
Sing.
Sing
Yeah, I
Sing,
haven't seen Sing Sing either.
but I feel like Coleman Domingo is like he's kind of due for an
Yeah,
Oscar. He got nominated last year as well.
yeah.
So it might be he might win it, and Sing Sing's had a lot of buzz.
Has it
So,
did that like actually come out yet or
yeah, it's been
oh,
out for like a minute.
uh,
I've been trying desperately to see it, but it's not playing in theaters anymore,
it's
and
not
it's also
online? So it's just
not
like
available for rent. So
that's
we just like can't watch
it's a
it.
isn't it like a potential like best picture nominee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's crazy that you can't even fucking watch it.
Yeah. Very
Whatever.
strange.
Yeah, but
Um,
I mean, I don't know. I like maybe Denzel for like because
s
as a
supporting.
supporting because I can't really. There's not much. I mean, my pick is
I feel like costume design or something could
yeah, they'll win like set design or
production maybe.
actually low key
Wicked
Wicked
is
might
gonna get
yeah.
yeah. Wicked and Gladiator, I think both are gonna get like some
Some nominations, yeah.
yeah.
Ariana right
Uh,
now, Ariana Grande is a favorite for, supporting actress,
yeah. There's
so,
again, I just feel like this year in general is very weak.
yeah.
Like,
Nah,
think about last year, the fucking bangers that were dropping. I
no,
still only have 1 5-star film from this year, and it's Dune 2.
I have 2, I have Substance and, uh honestly, though, this year's been, like there's a lot of, like, good movies this year, I feel like it's just there's not of, like, super memorable performances like last year.
Yeah. I feel like besides Dune 2, like, Poor Things and, Oppenheimer are better than, like, everything that's came out this year, both of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, honestly, I'd even put Past Lives in there too.
Yeah, Past Lives, it's definitely up there. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, I like The Substance a little more than you do, but
yeah,
that's like the only other one.
I just don't get why this year is so weak. Like,
I mean,
I don't
the
know.
writing strike, COVID, just not doing well. Like the box office like hasn't it's been a down year. I mean, now actually, I think this year will be good because Inside Out 2, Wicked is going to do a lot of money, and then Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot too.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's a good encouraging signs. But
Yeah.
but yeah, do you have a favorite scene?
Uh, I honestly like his Paul Mescal's speech at the end when after he breaks all those guys out of jail and
Oh, like when they go to
when he's about to go out to defend his mother
yeah,
and right when he like basically hypes all the guys up and like talks to them, I just his delivery was just amazing.
yeah.
Like I was shocked. I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's fucking commanding." So, I thought that was
What
my favorite scene.
what's like his next project?
I don't know. He's got a couple things lined up. He was almost Human Torch apparently.
Yeah, which
Let's
is
see.
crazy, and he lost it to his co-star. Well, Loki might have had it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he turned it down. Uh Merrily We Roll Along. Richard Linklater. Richard Linklater's next film. Hamnet by Chloe Zhao.
Oh yeah, he's playing. That's his next thing actually. That's filming.
He's
That
playing William Shakespeare.
yeah.
The History of Sound. Whatever that is, he's in that.
Isn't that like
Coming
a?
up.
Oh wait. Oh, this is song Merrily All Along.
Yeah,
Frank
that's the one.
Shepherd's.
The Dog Stars, directed by Ridley Scott. Paul
Oh,
Mescal's the cast.
that's like they just cast him that actually.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got some good shit coming up. So
How old is Ridley Scott, dude? He's making a shit ton of movies.
I feel like, bro, he makes so many movies. That's one thing I respect about him. He was born in 1937. Holy shit.
Dude, he might
So
be older than.
he's 63 plus 24. What the fuck is that? I'm an idiot.
Wait, what?
He's 87.
He's 87?
No, that doesn't make sense.
There's no way. I was gonna say like 70, maybe.
Born 1937. To get to the year 2000 from there is 63 years plus 24.
I mean, he doesn't look
Is he actually
87.
87? Oh
That's
my
crazy.
god.
That's true. The fuck is Clint
Unless
Eastwood's
letter
excuse then?
Oh, he's 86. Holy
That's
holy moly.
insane, dude.
That is crazy. He turns 87 on November 30th. Dude,
And
he does
he has like
not.
no signs of slowing down either. Like, bro, he has Gladiator 3 writing. He said he's doing another Alien movie. He's doing that book, the Dog Stars.
Dude, he's just like a miserable person, how it seems like. He always like shits on people.
Yeah.
It's mad funny though.
Like they were asking him like, oh, like what do you? Because I think Paul Mescal's gonna do Broadway or something or theater, and he's like, they asked him like, oh, like what do you think about like doing Broadway? He's like, oh, I think it's fucking boring. It was like it
Yeah,
just like doesn't you know.
I feel like I think someone asked him like, "Oh, what do you think about Quentin Tarantino like saying that this
Oh,
is his
it was
final
like
film?" And he's like, "I don't." He's like, "He's a fucking idiot," or like something like that. He's like, "Why do you say all this shit? Like, just make your movies and shut up." Like,
did you see the thing he said about like the gay kiss in Gladiator?
what do you say?
He gave like such a weird because Denzel said there was like apparently a scene that got cut where he kissed the guy,
Yeah,
and he was like, that scene didn't happen. They acted it out. So what does that mean?
I have no idea what that means.
Does
I
that
think
mean
it was probably the scene where he kissed that guy mad times, like on the
yeah,
cheek.
it was probably that, and he just
It was
killed
probably
him.
just like a kiss. Yeah,
Yeah, but it was just like I was just like, what the fuck?
yeah.
But
Yeah, did you say your favorite scene? I forgot.
um,
I don't think you did.
no, I didn't honestly. I mean, honestly, I like that like the fight scene with the ships, like with the
Mhm.
aqueduct stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, with the
But
sharks.
yeah,
With the unrealistic sharks
unrealistic
that
sharks. Yeah,
um alright, favorite character? I like Lucius.
Lucius. I mean, I'll be different and say what's his name? What's Denzel's character's name?
I forgot. I kept trying to remember it while I was
Markinus?
watching.
Markinus?
Something like that. Let's just check Letterbox.
Yeah, it's Markinus. Macrinus.
All
Pedro
right.
Pascal was great too. We didn't even mention him.
Yeah, he was good. His character was he seemed like he's a villain at first, but he's kind of like
Like a tragic.
yeah, like misunderstood, I
So,
guess.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, very good, very epic. It's just like the perfect kind of movie to just fucking like all dads are gonna fuck with this,
Yeah.
you know? Just like gladiators fucking each other up, lots of blood and fights and
Yeah,
swords.
like it's just such like a
Yeah, really, really
like a
cool.
block. Yeah. Yeah.
So ratings, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, so I gave Gladiator 2 a 4 stars, 8 out of 10. A really big fan of the scale of the movie, how epic it was. Paul Mescal just blew me away with his performance. He was fantastic. And the rest of the cast is very solid. Really well cast, great performances. Only issues was just a little bit of the characterization of Lucius and why he makes certain decisions, and like the last act towards the end just didn't really make sense to me. But overall, just really great experience in the cinema. Just love the movie. So
Yeah. Yeah. I also gave it a 4 star. So 8 out of 10. You pretty much summed it up. Like it was just a great, fun movie. Especially going to a theater. You
yeah,
know.
was your theater crowded?
Yeah. When you went, did they have like that 8-minute reel before, or that was just for me?
No, they didn't.
That sucks.
One thing I was gonna ask you too, this is random, but before Wicked, oh no, we saw Wicked together, didn't we?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw people saying they showed the Snow White trailer, but they didn't show it
Yeah,
for
I
us.
saw that too. But we didn't. I guess with us, we didn't.
Maybe they didn't drop it till like Thursday because we saw it on Wednesday.
Yeah, probably.
So
It'll probably drop in the next couple days.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, actually, I don't know if that is that a good transition actually to our movie news.
yeah, we could let's pull this up.
Get into our movie
Um,
news now.
speaking of
So
trailers,
yeah, we had a decent amount of trailers actually. We had a new Thunderbolts trailer and a new Captain America trailer, which honestly, I feel like the Captain America one stood out to me more. It
yeah, I
looks like
like both.
really, it was like really like I don't know.
Let's talk
Did
about
like
Thunderbolts first though.
yeah.
Um, because they no, they officially released a previous Thunderbolts trailer, right?
Yeah, yeah. This one's like it was long though, right?
Yeah, this one was pretty
Like
long.
4 minutes or something like
And
that.
it's kinda like a character introduction to each of them. It's also confirmed that Val bought Avengers Tower
Oh
in
yeah,
the trailer because she's like, "Oh, it's, like, expensive, but the view is you can't beat the view," or some shit. Like, I like how her character just shows up, like, not really explained too much. She could just, like,
yeah,
afford Avengers Tower. It's
yeah,
mad funny. Seems like Bucky is gonna be, like, a pretty big player in this. I saw reports that he's not really in it, he's not really part of the team, but it seems like
I
he
saw that
is.
too.
It seems like he is. I mean, but there's, like, the title cards kinda introducing each character, like, he gets one. It says, like, Bucky, whatever, and,
I feel like they want to advertise him because he's probably like a familiar face for the
I mean,
MCU.
Taskmaster didn't get one, and
I
Taskmaster doesn't really appear in a lot of, like,
Yeah,
the
and
parts of the
also
trailer that
I don't
seem like
want
they're towards the end,
to. Yeah, I
so
was gonna say I don't want to be that guy, but there's a strikingly uh big that like what's the word? Fuck. You can't. She's in a lot of the shots. She's not in a lot of the shots that look like towards like a final battle.
yeah, yeah.
So
We'll
you know,
see. She
which
might get murdered, but
most
that works.
likely.
I mean,
Spent.
that works for this kind of movie. Someone's
Yeah.
gotta die, and she's pretty much universally disliked by the fans. I don't
Fans.
really
Yeah.
know anyone that watched Black Widow and was like, "Yeah, Taskmaster was a really good villain."
Yeah.
You
No
know?
disrespect to the actress. Just
Yeah, it has
yeah.
nothing to do with the actress.
It's just the
It's
way the character was done.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. I
Yeah, but
mean, it looks good. I feel like I don't know.
it looks interesting.
I'm a little weary with the MCU. They definitely like lost my trust with some of the
Yeah.
stuff they've been putting out. So
It's supposed to have good writers behind it.
yeah, it's like the
And
people from the Bear and Beef are writing it. I think, which is like
yeah.
a pretty big get, honestly.
Yeah. So,
So yeah,
and then the Captain America trailer, we see a couple things for the first time. You get to see a closer look at the new Falcon's suit in some of the
dude.
shots. Um, you get to see Captain
Do you
America's like
like
helmet.
do you like the new suit?
Which one?
The
I'm talking
Captain
about
America.
Falcon, like his
Yeah,
partner.
yeah, his
The
partner. No, I'm talking about like Captain America, the new one.
Yeah, I like
Which
it.
I like the old one so much better, dude.
The
The
new one is
white,
just it's less white, yeah.
I
But it
like
seems
the
like he's gonna wear both in the movie.
yeah,
I prefer the white one too because it's
yeah.
more comic accurate.
It just looks sick, dude.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
you know
honestly one of
what?
the best costumes they've done.
Yeah, it is. It's a great costume, but,
Yeah,
like, you know why they have to fucking
yeah. I
do
know
new
they gotta sell
ones.
toys.
They gotta sell toys, yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta sell Funko Pops. Um, yeah, what do you think of his helmet? I actually kinda like it.
Yeah, I like that, it makes sense though, like, when he's flying around, like, because I guess with the vibranium suit, he's gonna be able to, like, break the sound. It looks like he breaks the sound barrier in
Yeah,
the
like, it's
trailer.
almost like there's a part where he puts his helmet on and just fucking, like, boosts, like, almost like how Iron Man
Iron
would,
Man, yeah. That's what I
and
was thinking about that too, yeah, it's a little but
so
I
it
mean, low
makes
key, it's like he uses the flying a lot, so I guess
yeah.
it's, like, not this, it's not the strangest thing.
I saw people complaining about the helmet though, because I mean,
I
and
mean
this could be true, but they were like, "Oh, they're just making him cover his head because he's black." Like, I really doubt that that's
yeah,
why.
I feel like he's gonna wear the helmet for maybe, like, 30 seconds in the movie.
Again, it's just a way to fucking sell toys.
Sell toys,
Like,
yeah.
th
Um,
then if he has a helmet, "Oh, here's the helmet version and here's the unmasked version,"
yeah,
you know? I doubt it's trying to hide his face because he's black, but I don't know.
yeah.
I guess it's possible, you never know with Disney.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, it looks good. We get some cool shots of the Red Hulk too.
Yeah.
And of course, we have
See
to have a fucking one-liner in it because it's the MCU.
yeah.
But,
The, CGI looks pretty good.
yeah, yeah, so I definitely there's a shot, like, of the White House, like, exploding that it's probably just gonna be, like, the Hulk running through it. People think that he might be fighting the regular Hulk in that. I don't know, that was, like, a rumor too, and
I
that's why
feel
it's
like
kinda
wasn't there a rumor that She-Hulk was gonna be in the movie?
yeah,
I don't know if that'll
yeah,
be true. I hope a
probably not.
real like, the actual Hulk
Pulls
shows
up.
up.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like I wanna rewatch She-Hulk.
I like She-Hulk.
I feel
I
like yeah,
saw on the Disney Plus Marvel banner, they replaced She-Hulk with, Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
So, I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but I feel like we're probably not gonna get She-Hulk season 2 if we were.
What'd you give
Um,
it?
I think I gave it 4-star
Oh, really?
She-Hulk.
Mm.
Yeah, I was a big fan of it. I liked seeing Daredevil in it.
I know besides, like, the fucking idiots online, like, I know it's actually, like, a good show. Like, apparently it's, like, very accurate to the comic too, like, how she is.
Yeah, there are some things that I don't love, like some of the commentary when she's, talking to Bruce like, "Oh, you have no idea how hard it is to be a woman," like this and that. Meanwhile, like he tried to kill himself
In universe.
in canon, and she's like telling him how hard it is to get like catcalled and shit. Like that could have worked, but not talking to Bruce Banner. Like I didn't like how they
Yeah.
downplayed
His
like what
trauma.
he's been through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um could have been handled a little better. But the show overall I really enjoyed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's
Um,
maybe
Move
talk about
on.
this next trailer. I really don't have much to say about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Looks great.
It
Feel like
looks
it's gonna
good.
be fucking
Action
sick.
looks really cool. Tom Cruise flying off the fucking side
Some
of an
crazy
airplane
white people shit.
while
Fucking
yeah, while it's
want
spinning,
yeah.
risking his life
I
for no
for
reason.
50-year-olds to go see an IMAX movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's gonna be great.
I hope it does well because I know the last one flopped and I liked the
Yeah,
last
and the
one.
last one was great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like what's his name? Who's the director?
Christopher McQuarrie.
Him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I like Tom Cruise too, like, as
yeah.
that
No, and I
action
like.
star.
There's a lot of like, uh, what's her name? The girl who plays Mantis is great in it too. Her
Yeah.
character's name's like Paris or something, or
Yeah,
London or some
Haley
shit.
Atwell will probably
Haley
return.
Atwell's also in it. Yeah,
Yeah. So
but
it looks good, but I feel like the trailer doesn't really show much.
much about the plot.
I wonder how much they're gonna
How does it end off? I forgot. Like they find the location of the submarine, right? Like doesn't that how it end off?
they
Where he
have
gets the key.
they get, like, the key and then jump off the train and then, like, it ends or something.
Okay.
I don't really remember, but
But yeah,
yeah. Uh, Another trailer. What if season 3? I think it looks cool. There seems to be some cool concepts for episodes in here. Um, there's also some characters that aren't necessarily huge that seem to be appearing, which is cool. Like Moon Knight is in it. Some of the Eternals are in it. Agatha's in it. Storm, who's
wait,
an
Agatha's in
X-Men.
it? I didn't know
Yeah,
Agatha was in
she's
it.
in it.
Oh shit.
Uh, Storm. What if Storm lifted Mjolnir? Such a great concept for an episode.
Yeah,
Um, I think it looks good. Looks interesting. Also,
yeah,
Mysterio is in it. Spider-Man character. So
yeah. I know you're like, what if I'm not like a big, but the biggest thing to me is like I just don't fuck with the animation. It's just like I don't know. It turns me off.
yeah, I feel like there's so many good ideas for what if
Yeah, like,
scenarios,
but I
and then
feel
they'll
like
just do like, oh, what if like Iron Man was blue or something? Like
yeah.
just stupid
They should
shit.
do like outlandish, like bro, the one that they show in that trailer. There's one like where they're all in like giant mech suits. Like that's fucking like stuff like that. Like when they're in the western, I want them to do like crazy, you know, shit like
Yeah,
that. And also
yeah,
they should like do different animation styles. I feel like that's the whole point of what if, you know,
yeah, yeah,
told stories through different lenses, you know. But whatever. What do I know?
yeah. Whatever. It looks good. It's actually coming
Yeah,
out like soon, this
yeah, like
December.
end of the month. Yeah.
I kind of liked how they did the rollout last year, where it was like they released one episode a day from like Christmas. Like it
Oh
was like the
really?
week leading up into Christmas. They
That's
released a
actually
new
pretty
episode
cool.
every day. Yeah. I hope
Maybe
they
they'll
do that
do it.
again.
Yeah.
So, all right,
But
moving on. Uh Casting news. I'll read this one, Joe. You could read the next.
yeah.
But so as you guys may or may not know, Potter series coming to HBO, I think next year or 2026, probably
Probably
2026.
2026. Yeah.
Um, and they're in the casting process right now. I saw somewhere that they cast the 3 kids. I don't know if that's
Really?
true. Yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
s I saw they somewhere that was like, "Oh, the golden trio has been cast in Harry Potter." It's not gonna matter matter because 'cause they're unknown. They're gonna be
Unknown.
unknowns
Yeah, they're gonna be
anyway.
unknowns, but
But apparently Mark Rylance is at the top of the casting wish list for Dumbledore, and that is, like, pretty
yeah,
perfect,
it's pretty good.
honestly.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy that casting. I like Mark Rylance. He's good at just playing, like, weird people, and I feel like he could do a pretty good Dumbledore if he wanted
Yeah.
to. I don't really know, like, who my dream cast would be, you know?
Yeah. I feel like
Especially
it's so hard.
considering how great the original series was casted.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to think of replacements. The only one that I could see is, what's his face? That, fucking, Cillian Murphy, Voldemort. I saw people talking about
Oh
that.
yeah. That'd be cool.
Um,
Does he do?
but
Oh no, actually, he does do shows. He
yeah,
did
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
if Mark
I
Rylance
guess
is
yeah.
Dumbledore, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm
I would
honestly like, I feel like I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. Like, I know that you're a huge Harry Potter fan, but you're definitely a bigger fan than I am. And I feel like like maybe this will get me more engaged with it. I guess not engaged. I don't know, more into the kind of Harry Potter sphere.
yeah,
But you know, anyway,
definitely.
the
Alright,
next
you
bit of
wanna
news. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So this is a movie that I think me and you we've talked about it on here previously. Guillermo del Toro is doing his version of a Frankenstein story with Oscar Isaac playing Dr. Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi playing the monster. Um, it's coming out in 2025. We got our first look. Looks like pretty typical, like Guillermo del Toro gothic horror vibe. You know, like there's a bunch of like body parts severed all over the place in this like dilapidated looking lab. Looks really cool. I don't know what
Yeah,
you.
it looks pretty much like what you'd expect from Guillermo. Just this
Yeah,
big fucking gothic horror looking set. You low-key see Elordi's body on the table. You can't really see much. He's not green. That's one thing,
not yet.
but hopefully he'll turn green.
Yeah, I'm hoping they go for that. Yeah, I feel like he will.
Yeah,
He'll make him green.
yeah.
I also saw apparently it's gonna get a theatrical release.
Hopefully. I mean, I
But
I would see it in theaters,
yeah, I would
you know?
too. I don't know why they would not. But it's probably gonna be like New York, LA type of thing. So sucks for
Yeah,
you guys, but we'll be chilling.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Next bit of news, we got the Elo trailer, which is like the new uh Pixar original animated movie. I know this has been like delayed for like multiple. I remember like the first trailer came out like 2 years ago.
yeah. I feel like it was supposed to be the next Pixar film, and then they just were like, "Let's just release Inside Out 2 really quick," and then it took that spot and got delayed.
Yeah,
It looks
looks
fine,
fun. Yeah, I mean it
I
looks.
guess. I mean, not that
It's
like a kid's Pixar movie would necessarily get me super excited to begin with,
yeah,
but it looks okay. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not.
yeah,
I like the more mature Pixar stuff. Like I really like Soul. Not that Ratatouille is necessarily mature, but it's not like little kid stuff.
yeah.
I like Ratatouille a lot.
I feel like there's gonna be some type of. I mean, it's already get talking about like the themes of like finding yourself and like So I'm sure there's gonna be some type of, I guess, life lesson or whatever.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was announced in 2022 and
It's releasing June
June
2025.
2025. It was originally set for August 24, then November 24, and now June 13th, 2025. Um,
I'm sure it'll I don't know if it'll make money, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
yeah, I know
We'll
that
see.
they brought on another director in the middle of production, which I don't know. I guess take that with as it is, but that's usually not a good sign. But we'll see. I mean, if the woman that stepped on is, I believe her name is, I'm definitely butchering it, Dome Shi. She was I believe she was the director of Turning Red. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Uh Next thing we got some more casting news for Christopher Nolan's next film. We already knew about Tom Holland and Zendaya. They got cast a while ago, but we just found out that Robert Pattinson will come back and reunite with Christopher Nolan for this movie. And he's supposed to be like one of the leads.
Oh,
I
really?
think, yeah, I saw
Oh, I didn't
something
know
that
that.
him and Tom Holland are going to be like big players, and then Zendaya is going to have more of a supporting role. I'm not sure about the other people who have been cast, but that gets me really excited because I'm a big
Hey,
Robert
what about Matt
Pattinson fan.
Damon?
I don't know if I assume he's also like one of the bigger people.
I heard
You
he
know,
was the lead.
I think Tom Holland and Matt Damon are the two mains, but I saw something that Pattinson's gonna have like a big role, and then
I mean,
Zendaya is gonna be like a supporting. So
yeah, so Zendaya is not going to be in it a lot. Like she'll very quick,
yeah,
but
because think about like Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Like he's a supporting character, but he's also like he has a huge role.
yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't think about it like
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
And then also Lupita Nyong'o from
yeah,
she's been killing it lately. Quiet Place Day One is did great, and The Wild Robot. So
yeah, I forgot she's in that.
yeah. So, but anyway, next bit of news. This is definitely a strange one. So now it's like officially announced, according to Deadline, Daniel Craig is in talks to star in the Sergeant Rock film for DC Studios, directed by Luca Guadagnino, and it's going to be written by the person that wrote Challengers and his new movie Queer. So this is such a strange like pick for a DC movie, but I mean I love Guadagnino. I think he's like one of the best directors working right now. So like the fact that he's doing a fucking like I don't even know what Sergeant Rock. She's just like a GI Joe type of dude, right? Like I don't.
Dude, don't even ask me. I have no idea. This is like a weird situation
Yeah.
for me because I like am the biggest advocate of only make superhero movies about superheroes that people care about because otherwise you're just like wasting like opportunities
I
because you
don't
can
agree.
only have like 3 movies a year. So give us movies that we want to see. Like don't give us fucking Sergeant Rock. Like who cares?
Well, I'm
Who
not defending Sergeant Rock. I think it's definitely strange, but like if with
Yeah,
that
but
mindset, we wouldn't have got like because Iron Man was like a fucking C-list character before the movies came out.
yeah, but
You know what I
that's
mean?
true, but also Marvel didn't have access to anything else. So they
Yeah,
couldn't have
no,
done
that's fair.
Spider-Man.
That's fair. That's
But
fair. This is
okay, but
weird though. This is very
but
weird.
yeah, let me finish just to
Sorry.
finish my no, you're fine. Um, yeah, so I'm usually like that, like I don't care about this shit. But then you're like, okay, it's Luca Guadagnino and Daniel Craig, and it's Luca's his writer that he always gets. I forget his name,
But
but
yeah, he's good.
he wrote Challengers and
He wrote
whatever.
Queer.
So you have all this talent behind the camera, and it's like I gotta be excited for it.
Yeah.
But it's Sergeant Rock. Like who cares? Like who gives a fuck? How is this gonna impact the DCU at all? It's probably not.
I
I
just
don't know. I just feel
I
very
don't
mixed
know.
on it. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, I love Luca Guadagnino, so you
And
know.
this is probably gonna come out like
I
somewhat
think yeah,
soon.
he said so. It also said in the article that this is his next film he's going to shoot, and then after
Yeah,
that he's going to do the American Psycho remake.
it might release in 2025. Honestly, actually, no. We're
No,
already at holy shit. We're at the end of 2024.
no way. Probably
It'll
like
release in
2026.
2026. But
I just
I don't
like
know.
I don't. What the fuck is the movie going to be about?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I
I'm.
just feel
I mean,
like
yeah.
if DC has 3 film releases per year, let's just say, would you rather have a Batman movie, a Superman movie, and a Wonder Woman movie? Or would you rather one of those slots be taken by Sergeant Rock?
Well,
Like, it just means
obviously,
the shit that you wanna see
I
is gonna get pushed back because
ideally
of this.
yes, but it's not always as simple as like, oh, let's just make a movie for this date. You know it doesn't work like that. Like with
Yeah.
writing and stuff like that. I'm not saying like I don't understand why they're releasing Sergeant Rock. Like I think it's a strange pick, but um
We'll see. I
we'll
mean,
see. Yeah.
James Gunn has made, Guardians,
Yeah,
and,
honestly, I haven't really seen a
so
bad like James Gunn. Like definitely some stuff that like I'm not like I don't love, but like there's never really made anything like inherently like bad.
yeah, I'm sure he has. Maybe you just haven't seen it, but no, in terms of superhero stuff, no.
Superhero stuff, yeah, I'm talking about superhero stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't seen like his other shit,
yeah.
but
But whatever.
um,
You could talk about this next thing because I
yeah,
feel like
I
you
just
got a
want to
lot more.
mention this quick. So Warner Brothers made a deal with the Korean producing company CJENM to make English language remakes of like a lot of famous international films like Old Boy, which they've done already, and Parasite. I just think this is a slap in the face to like the creators of those movies. Those stories are intended to be told in a language that they're told, like they're written in that language for a reason. Like I just feel like it's like a slap in the face, kind of. You're kind of already disrespecting the source material if you're changing everything about it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of like a Korean film that got an English language remake that was good.
Exactly.
I can only think of examples of it not
Not
working,
being good.
like Old Boy. Um,
I'm sure they're gonna
but
butcher the Train to Busan.
yeah, we'll see.
You know what it's called?
Train isn't it like Train to Philly or something?
Yeah.
Bruh. I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatever. You could talk about this next thing. We should have honestly brought this up before, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
But yeah, apparently Alan Tudyk was revealed to be the voice of Clayface in the DCU. Um, it's fun. Yeah, like he's a great voice actor. So
Doesn't he? He voices
he
Clayface in the
voices
Harley Quinn
Clayface in
show.
Harley Quinn, but he said in an interview like it's a completely different like take on the character.
I like his voice in Harley Quinn in it, but it's like a completely comedic and
Yeah,
unserious
yeah.
performance.
He said like the quotes like he's a sociopath or something. He's like a killer. So I'm happy that they're gonna go for. Also, that's like probably the most fucking fantastical, I guess. I don't know, kind of Batman villain we've gotten in a long time.
Yeah. I
So it's
mean,
cool that like when you see him in the trailer, like he's actually looks like the comic Clayface, like you know what I mean?
yeah, because we got like Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze and
Yeah.
Batman Forever. But like,
I'm not like obviously like I love the Batman in that world that it's in, but like I also love the kind of strange and obscure Batman villains too.
yeah, I do really love the Batman. The Penguin just finished. That was really
Yeah, the
great.
Penguin's amazing. Yeah,
But like, there's certain things that kind of piss me off as like a superhero and comic book fan,
yeah.
where like Matt Reeves is like, oh, we want to call him Oz Cobb because Oswald Cobblepot is like too like outlandish. Like, bro, Just be like,
Yeah,
if
just
you're not even gonna keep his name, like, I
yeah,
don't
that
know.
was
It's
strange.
based off comic books. Like, I get
Yeah,
wanting to be grounded, but stuff like that bothers me a little. So,
I agree with
that
you.
being said,
Yeah.
I still love the Batman. I love the Penguin
Yeah,
show
yeah,
too. But yeah, this stuff kinda excites me, you know? I like
yeah,
that you can get kind of a little bit of both with what's going on at DC right now, so
yeah. Honestly, the talent behind that they've got already for DC is like director wise, it's pretty good. James
yeah, you got
Mangold,
Gunn,
Guadagnino,
Mangold, Guadagnino, what the
the who's doing uh
Supergirl,
I haven't
fucking
seen that guy though, but is he
he did I, Tonya.
okay. So I
Let me
mean
look him up. I just wanna
the weakest one is probably Andy Muschietti.
Craig Gillespie. Yeah, Muschietti.
He's the weakest. And he's like an okay director, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
You
um,
know?
yeah, but alright, let me bring us to this last trailer
Yeah, sorry,
before we move
we've
on.
just been yapping the whole fucking time.
No, it's I feel like we're doing decent on time, but,
Alright.
yeah, so this next trailer was one that's gonna go down in history because this is the first ever 3D animated film to be brought to live action, and it's the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I I've seen the first animated film. I haven't seen the others, and I also don't really remember the first, but these are like beloved films.
Yeah.
And the director of this is the same guy who directed the animated one.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer looked good. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
Um,
It's fine. Yeah, like
some people are saying the lighting looks bad and it's dark and this and that, but people say that about literally every
yeah,
single
but also
movie.
the movies like they're supposed to be fucking Vikings. It's like miserable out all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought Toothless looks pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
to be fair though, it's not like a complex looking dragon. It's like a
Yeah.
very
It's
smooth
well,
black kind of. I don't
you
know.
know, it
I feel
almost
like
like it's very like cat like almost.
yeah, I think so.
Um.
Um, but
But
yeah, I like how they got Gerard Butler back as the
yeah.
father, and he's just like playing him in live action. That's
Yeah.
probably cool. I don't
He's
know
just
if they did
like
that for any
he has
other characters,
like a
but
comically large beard and like just a massive fucking. He said he wore like a 90-pound prosthetic suit every day on set.
yeah, I know people
But
were upset about the casting of the girl because she's not white. Um,
mm, yeah,
I don't really have have a problem with her like race, but they should have at least given her blonde hair. Like she doesn't look like the character at all, you know.
yeah,
But I also don't care because I'm not like the biggest fan of this franchise, and it's not like I'm like, oh, I need to see this
yeah,
person brought to live action and done justice. Like I understand why people are upset. You know, they want to see
yeah.
this get brought to life, and they
But
want to
like,
see the
let
character look the same, and they don't. So
let the girl act first though, like
yeah, I'm
before
a
we
big
start,
I like the actress. I really like the actress,
yeah,
but I understand why people are upset.
yeah.
I personally don't give a fuck, and I don't think
The
people
only
should really get upset about it.
I just feel like the thing with this movie is like, and even Moana too, which we didn't talk about it, but we actually got the first set looks of like The Rock and everything. But we're taking these movies that are 100% animated, and like the best parts of these movies are the animated parts. So you're just reanimating it in live action, like the
Yeah,
dragons and How to Train. You know what I mean?
but I mean, we know why they're doing it. It's just because sadly,
Well, this
like
I think is more just for the theme park, honestly.
a live action movie is gonna have more appeal than an animated film. It just is, you know. Like it sucks that it's that way, but it's the truth. It's
Yeah.
gonna make more money, and
Not necessarily, honestly.
adults will see this. Adults would not go see.
Yeah, but how many adults are actually going to see it? That's the thing.
I feel like I mean we're gonna
I
see
don't
it,
know.
but we
Oh
see
yeah,
everything.
we see
But
everything. Yeah,
but
like Dad isn't going to go see it.
he might.
You think Dad's going to go see How to Train Your Dragon?
He might
No
because he
way.
likes Universal a lot.
Oh, actually, okay, you're right. I lied. Cause yeah, but he would see it more just because like it has to do with like the park.
Yeah, but he wouldn't see an animated movie to do with the park, but he would see this to do with the park. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. Did he see Spider Verse?
I don't think so.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah. And those are, like, amazing, and they're
yeah, like
action, and it's
yeah.
Spider-Man.
He would love it too. Like
Yeah. I
damn,
guarantee if it was the same exact story and in live action, he would go see
he'd
it.
probably watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. which is just
But
like the
like we're so,
sad
but I feel like we're
reality.
so beyond the point of like animation isn't for kids. Like everybody knows, like Rick and
Bro,
Morty is like,
we
bro,
know, but
Rick and Morty is like one of the most pop. I'm just this is an example. Family Guy, South Park, like adult animation has always been a thing.
yeah.
But I'm very passionate about this stuff because I'm a big I love animated stuff, anime, all types of animation.
Hmm.
But but yeah. Anyway,
All right. I guess we can move on.
yeah,
We'll do our top 10. You
yeah,
want to introduce
yeah. We'll
it?
do a top 10. So
Then
we did this week we did our top 10 summer movie blockbusters. So um there was a lot of franchises honestly, but I tried to keep one limited to like one per franchise. Um, but yeah, I don't know if Matt, you want to start? You want me to start?
no, you could start because it was
Yeah.
your list. So
You want to go? Well, I'll go 10 to 6.
yeah.
So 10, I had Guardians of the Galaxy. I know it's kind of like a newer one, but honestly, like a really fun and no one, and people didn't expect it to be as good as it was either, which made it kind of fun.
Hmm.
Um, Number 9 was Independence Day. Obviously, I wasn't old enough to go to the theater to see this, but I think that's just like a classic, like summer kind of like that makes me think of like the 4th of July, like that type of.
Yeah.
Then 8, this one's a little bit of a shocker. I had Shrek. Um, I'm just big Shrek. I love Shrek. Awesome anime movie. I didn't even know it was like a summertime release until I did this list, but yeah, needs no explanation. Um, 7, I had Transformers. So I know there's like a million of them. I'm just talking about the first one specifically because like I don't want to, we can go down this rabbit hole. It's like fucking 7 Transformers movies, but I just feel like that's such like a. I remember like us being kids and like we were excited to see the Transformers movie. Like Dad bought the tickets for us the day before, and like they would take us after school. I have like a lot of like as a kid memories of seeing the Transformers movies. And then number 6 actually had Gladiator, which obviously again wasn't they couldn't see it in theater, but like another like kind of large scale kind of grand movie. It's the summertime. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly
What?
I'm shocked that I forgot Transformers. It's not on my
What?
list.
Dude, when I was thinking about this list, like that was like the first memory that came through was like
Yeah.
Transformers movies. Dude, that's like bro,
That
like
definitely would have made my list, yeah, because
man.
mine's not just based on, like, how much I like it, it also is kinda just, like, the summer blockbuster kinda vibe, you know?
Yeah, like no, 100%.
So, it's like, my ranking is not gonna be in order of, like, which movie I think is the best, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
Same thing.
alright. So, for me, at number 10, I had Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which came out in July 2011.
I should have
Uh,
put the dates.
yeah, I figured it would be good to just mention them.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, it's the conclusion of the Harry Potter filmology, I guess is how you'd say it. Um, and yeah, I actually like remember this coming out because I was 10 years old and I remember it being a big deal. And it's just, giant battles, wizards fighting each other. It's the kind of thing you want to go see on a summer day. So,
Yeah.
number 9, I had Gladiator, which came out in May 2000. Grand scale gladiators fighting each other.
Yeah.
And it's actually probably the only summer blockbuster that won Best Picture, which is,
They won Best Picture? I didn't know that.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, pretty
What
crazy to think
what
about.
was in the like contention?
I don't know. Honestly, look it up while I'm going
Yeah, I
through
want to
this,
say it.
so I'm curious.
Was it 2001?
2000. Well, it might be like the 2001 Oscars.
Yeah,
Whatever, you'll figure it out. All right.
nominees.
Anyways, number 8, I had Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Came out in May 1977. I don't know if this really counts, honestly. I feel like when it came out, it wasn't supposed to be this big summer blockbuster. It just happened to come out in May. But it did really well at the box office, and it obviously turned into a huge franchise.
Yeah.
And yeah, so 7, I had Toy Story 3, which came out in June 2010. Another one that I remember going to in the summer as a kid. And I feel like it's a big sequel to a well-known franchise. Did really well at the box office, just like a perfect summer movie for parents to take their kids.
Yeah.
Number 6, from May 2002, I had Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi. one of the first mainstream superhero films, and I was 1 years old when this came out, so I don't really remember that summer, but it's one that, I watched a lot in my childhood, and I remember Spider-Man 3 coming out, but
Yeah,
yeah. So,
that's
any
6.
answers on that Gladiator? Should
Oh, I'm sorry. It did win, and it's the other nominees were chocolate? Oh, wait, no, hold on. Uh, why is it
just
saying
just for
it
curiosity's sake.
says chocolate, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Mhm.
Eric Brockovich, and Traffic.
Yeah, I could see why it won. I don't
Yeah, I was like,
s
I don't even heard of any of these. Crouching
Now they
Tiger,
do
Hidden
yeah.
Dragon, I've heard of,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
have like no
Now
idea
they
what it's
do
about.
10 nominees. It used to be 5,
Oh, really?
which is crazy, yeah. Because yeah, there's only 5 there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, alright, you wanna speaking of 5,
yeah. Oh, that was
you wanna
perfect, actually.
wanna give your number
Yeah,
5?
5 actually had Top Gun. Um, I am obviously, unfortunately, couldn't watch in the theater, but like that's another one of those. It's like a classic, like you had like the Reagan era propaganda with the MTV kind of like style of I don't know, like I don't know the term, but like the way I feel like if it's very like MTV kind of vibe, like the way all the pilots are dressed and stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, very big summer movie.
Yeah, and it
Um,
has, like, summer vibes to it
yeah, it's
overall.
just like where is it? San Diego, I think, or something.
I wanna say yes.
Listen,
I forget.
somewhere in California, but yeah,
Alright, my number 5, I actually had Terminator 2: Judgment Day from July 1991. I think it's one of the best action films ever made, and it's a huge franchise, made a lot of money. Just I know the theaters were buzzing that July when it came out. So, yeah.
yeah. Uh, Number 4 for me actually had Pirates of the Caribbean, specifically The Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one. Um, Another one that just pirates are just associated, I feel like, with kind of summer type of vibe, and I don't know, really big franchise. I had a lot of core memories with that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Alright. My number 4, I had The Dark Knight from July 2008. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. It's arguably the best Batman film ever.
yeah,
Arguably one of the best superhero films ever. And I feel like this was one that was huge in culture, like, a lot of people went to go see it, and yeah, I was 7 years old, so I don't know if I went to go see it in a theater, I don't remember. Do you remember if we went, Joe?
we probably did, honestly.
But
We, I feel like I don't even, I probably like didn't even comprehend the plot though.
yeah. Yeah, it was, like, a huge deal when it came out, so
Yeah,
I think that kinda fits the vibe of this list, but
yeah. So for number 3, I had to I had to put a Star Wars movie, so I put Star Wars Episode 4. I know obviously it was like a big surprise like when it came out, but I feel like it was such a cultural like icon. I feel like not icon, cultural impact. That was kind of like the first really like after that, that's when all like the kind of summer blockbusters started to come out. That was kind of like the first one. Maybe like technically Jaws before then, but still like one of really the I don't know, I guess pioneers of that summer blockbuster feel.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
But speaking of that, number 3, I actually had Jaws.
yeah,
Jaws is, like, the original summer blockbuster. Before Jaws, movies were made more for, like, art. Jaws kinda changed that, where it was like, wow, you can make, like, a hit movie that's gonna make a ton of money, and, like, people flock to see it in the summertime. It was, like, first summer it was the original.
yeah,
So, I feel like I had to have it up on this list. Probably would be number 1 for a lot of people, ranking these,
yeah,
but the top 2 that I have, I think are just more personal because I, like, went to go see them.
yeah.
Well, actually, one of them I didn't, but I went to go see
I
you'll
feel
see
like
when I get to it.
I feel like we have the same top two, honestly.
Alright, you go ahead.
Number two, I had the Avengers movie. Um, so I know maybe not like everyone everyone listening. I don't know if people listening know. This is gonna sound like I'm an old person, but Bro, when Avengers came out, like it was just like there was nothing like that where like all these characters from different movies came together in one movie and like it was such like a cultural impact. Like I feel like how we weren't old enough to go by ourselves, I don't think actually when this came out.
No, I was 11, so you were probably 13.
Actually, yeah, I mean that was like probably when we were starting to do it. But like yeah, I feel like it's our generation's kind of Star Wars in a way. The Avengers movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But all right, number 2, I have one that you actually mentioned already. Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Mm,
I just feel like Pirates, that franchise, I associate with the summer blockbuster.
yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like because they were coming out, like, as we grew up, it was, like, something to look forward to,
Yeah.
and it just has, like, the summer vibe to it. Pirates,
They're on the
and
beach.
yeah, it's, like, the beach, the water, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it wasn't this one because this came out in July 2003, and I would have been 2, but I remember seeing one of the, um, Pirates movies, like, as a school trip towards the end of the school year.
Yeah.
'Cause you know how sometimes they'd have school trips where they'd bring you to see a
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
So I remember seeing one of the Pirates movies, and that's, like, one of my first memories of being at a theater. So, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
should it be above Jaws? Maybe not, but I'll put it
Sorry,
there.
I forgot to put Jaws. Um, so my number one is Jurassic Park. Um, so this is like I feel like everybody, or at least every guy, has a phase where they're just like obsessed with dinosaurs, and it's probably because of this movie. Um, I mean the franchise is still going on today. There's a new one coming out in fucking July, but it's just like such an iconic like summertime movie. This is like the thing that I think about when going to the movies in the summer. This is like this comes to head. Even though obviously I wasn't fucking old enough to go. I wasn't even fucking born when this thing came out. But you know, it's just I always associate it with kind of summer blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a good pick. That
Yeah.
one missed my list, though, I
Really,
gotta say.
really,
Number 1
on
from
purpose or
yeah, I saw it, but it, like, was just outside.
all right, fair.
So, yeah, but anyways, number 1 from May 2012, I have The Avengers.
Yeah, yeah,
You talked a little bit about it, but it is the first time that there was a group of movies with characters that all came together into one movie, and it was, like, not only a summer blockbuster, but it was, like, the first event movie that
yeah.
we really got, and that completely changed
Changed everything.
cinema,
Yeah,
like, as we know it. Um, just was in the zeitgeist for so long when we were that age.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, like I mentioned, May 2012, so I was 11. I remember people talking about it at school. I remember I saw it a bunch of times in theaters. It
I
was just,
remember.
like, completely different. It was
Like
unlike anything else, so
like didn't they play the trailer to it like at the end of one of the other movies? I remember Dad would
yeah, they did. I think it
yeah,
was the end of Thor, I wanna
something
say.
like that. Yeah,
They played the trailer for it. It was, like, the post-credit scene was the trailer.
yeah, yeah,
I specifically remember seeing that in the theater.
yeah. I remember being with Dad.
Yeah. We probably went to go see Thor or, like, fucking
One of
whatever it was.
those.
Maybe it
Yeah.
was Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Honestly,
Uh,
I wonder what it's like for kids, like, because we actually grew up like in the perfect time of like peak MCU when we were at the right age. We lucked out.
yeah.
Like
That
kids
was, like
growing up now that are 10, like quality's not nowhere near what it used to be.
yeah. The fact that Iron Man 1 came out in 2008 when you were 9 and I was 7, that was, like, pretty much the perfect time. Like,
Yeah.
there's probably not a better age for it to start.
No.
Because
No.
if we were any older, we would've been, like, 30 when Endgame came out,
Yeah.
but
So it's
we
like,
were so,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's my list. It was a unique choice to list
Yeah.
these, but
I want something different. Yeah.
yeah. Um, alright, I guess we could move on to the final film, which I recommended. I'll,
Yeah.
give a
Read it.
little synopsis here. So I recommended the film Swingers, directed by Doug Liman, and it stars Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. This is one that, uh, one of my buddies who's into film, not as much as me, but it's, like, one of his favorite films, and he's been telling me to watch it for a long time, I just never got around to it, but I felt like it was a good time for both of us to check this out. So I'll go through the synopsis here. After 6 years together, Mike's girlfriend leaves him, so he travels to LA to be a star. 6 months on, he's still not doing very well, so a few of his friends try to reconnect him to the social scene and hopefully help him forget his failed relationship. So John Favreau's character is the one who just got broken up with of his girlfriend of 6 years, and he's just like completely lost and completely heartbroken, can't get over her. And Vince Vaughn is one of those guys that's kind of like whatever. He just doesn't. He probably doesn't believe in love, and he just fucking doesn't care. He's good with women. He just wants to have a good time. So he takes Vince Vaughn. I mean, he takes John Favreau to Vegas, and it's kind of about like what happens. John Favreau kind of talking to girls and being
Girls.
out and like things like that. It's a movie that feels very real.
Well, yeah, it's very human.
It feels very human. Yeah, like anyone that's tried to court a girl in a
Yeah.
bar, like, you know what this feeling that he's
Yeah,
feeling,
yeah,
you know? Like, the fear of rejection and just, like, the little things that it shows in the characters, like the hesitance and
yeah,
being scared to make a move, not knowing what to say. It's just, like, a very relatable movie.
yeah, and I like it's honestly, I love Vince Vaughn. I know I've seen him and stuff, but, like, this really, like I love, like, his kinda character in it too, like, the way he talks to people. He calls the girls, like, "sweet honeys" and stuff like that. Like, it's very funny. I honestly, like I'm very happy you recommended this to me 'cause I already watched it twice. It's
Yeah,
just, like, it's such a nice, like I've been showing my friends it just I don't know, it's like a just a chill, nice movie.
yeah. It doesn't f I like how low stakes it all is, really. It just kinda
Yeah,
follows these guys around, and, being someone who's been in a lot of relationships, like, I've been where he's been, you know?
yeah,
I've been hung up on a girl, and you really see in his character at times, like, it feels impossible. You're like, "How can I move on with my life? How can I be with anyone else?" And I really like how it ends with, like, this hopefulness,
yeah,
where after all this time, he's saying, like, it's gonna be impossible to move on. He's begging this girl to call him, and then when she finally calls him, he's able to just hang up on her and not wanna speak to her, and just kinda shows you that you're gonna get through it.
yeah.
Like, relationships are difficult, but you're gonna get through it, and I feel like it's a good movie to watch after a breakup,
Yeah,
because of, like,
100%.
that hopefulness,
Yeah,
you know?
and
A
you
lot of
kinda
movies
see oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, just really quick. A lot of movies that I would watch after a breakup are very, like, sad, like Her or, like,
Yeah,
Eternal Sunshine. I like how this is very hopeful, you know?
yeah.
So, yeah. What were you gonna
Honestly, like,
say?
I use like, the low stakes thing is nice. I didn't even like, subconsciously, I didn't realize that. Like, it's nice that there's no, like, it's just them going around, like, just talking to girls, like, there's no real kinda, like, direction, they're just doing whatever.
Yeah, it feels like you coulda just followed, like, a group of real people around and just them going out and just follow them in their
Yeah,
personal lives, and
yeah.
it's just fun. It's like
I think this was Favreau's direct not the acting debut as well.
maybe. He was really good in it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed his performance a lot. He's funny.
yeah.
The movie's
I
very
think
funny too.
I think he's a much better comedy writer than he is, like, any of the other stuff he does.
Yeah, now he's pretty much like a sellout,
He's just like a
honestly.
Disney Plus, but, like, he did The Chef randomly, and then, like,
Dude, he, like, made the MCU though, so he could do whatever the fuck he wants,
yeah,
honestly.
he did the live action, Lion King,
To go
which,
from
like
this to that is crazy.
yeah, it's insane. He's doing the Mandalorian and Grogu thing too. Like,
He's
I'm
directing that?
yeah,
Oh, really? I didn't know.
yeah. It's weird because like, you watch, like, this, and you see the type of like, director that he is now, and it's like, "What the fuck happened?"
He just, got bought up by Disney,
Bro, like, the story feels so real and human compared to, like, whatever Disney Plus slop is they're pumping out, you know what I mean?
like Lizzo and The Mandalorian.
Yeah, like, whatever the fuck. Like, like, it's just it sucks, and I feel like we'll never get he won't do shit like this again.
Yeah, I doubt it. He's made some classics though. Elf also is one
Yeah.
that he made. Um, but yeah, talk a little bit more about the movie. Like, just other small things, like when he gets into the fight with his friend, and the friend kind of just like blows up on him, then
Yeah,
later like comes back and apologizes. Like we've all been through shit like that,
yeah,
you know. It just feels like, especially for our age, you know, like early
yeah.
20s, it feels like something that you could connect to, and just
Yeah,
like the confusion of relationships and the confusion of being a young adult.
like
And
navigating your life and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
yeah.
favorite scene of yours?
Uh, honestly, I really like the not the ending scene, but the when they go to the jazz bar and he dances with that girl.
Yeah.
Like it starts out with them dancing slow, and then like the it like kind of transitions to them like jazz dancing. I really like that scene.
hmm I really liked the scene where he gets the girl's number and then makes the phone call to her at the house,
Oh, and he like
and he's like,
fucking
he keeps like double like second guessing everything.
yeah,
He like calls her back to give her his full number, and then he calls her back again, and then eventually like it just leads to like a complete implosion,
yeah,
and it shows like self sabotaging, which is like
pretty
it's
common.
pretty common in
Yeah,
people. Um, but
but yeah,
yeah, it was cool to see, because a lot of times you watch movies and it's these big action heroes and whatever, but it's cool to see someone
yeah,
that
just some low
that is,
stakes.
yeah, it's just like a vulnerable person that
Yeah,
is not perfect and has all these flaws, especially like in terms of relationships, and
yeah,
just being able to relate to that, you know? It's not
yeah,
like a common thing in film.
yeah.
So,
So when I was watching this with my friend. Do you consider this movie a comedy?
yeah,
Yeah, my friend was saying that he doesn't think this is a comedy. He thinks it's just like a
a drama,
yeah,
it's like purposely comedic.
yeah. That's what I was saying. There's multiple scenes of like them like doing shit that's just for stupid because it's funny. You know?
Yeah, also like there's like, even with the camera work is comedic. Like there's that scene where they're on the two man, and then it shows Vince Vaughn look back out, and you see like the girl's face right next to Jon Favreau's face, so it looks like they're making out.
Oh
And then
yeah,
like
yeah,
it cuts and he's like basically crying to her
yeah.
face to face. Like that's supposed to be funny.
Funny,
Like I'm
yeah,
pretty, it's supposed to be comedic.
funny, yeah. All right,
Yeah, I don't know.
you should watch his.
Um
So he after I watched this, like I wanted to watch more of Favreau's writing, so I watched this another comedy he did called Made. With I it's kind of like the unofficial sequel to Swingers, because it's just like the both of them doing basically like stupid shit,
yeah, I'll definitely
you know?
check it out.
It's set in New
Sounds
York, which
interesting.
is cool,
Yeah, that's cool.
but
Cuz this takes place in like LA and Vegas,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, this and
So
then this one's in LA and New York.
yeah. I also like how their actors are, like, up and coming, or, like, they wanna be in, he's a comedian in the movie,
Yeah,
but they wanna be, in, like, Hollywood, I guess.
yeah.
I like that. Um,
Nah, it's cool. It seems like they're, like,
yeah.
very relatable, just people like, how so many people just move to LA and try to pursue an acting career and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it, to be honest, just because of,
yeah,
like, how simple it
it's
is,
yeah, yeah.
which is a good thing, but I really liked it. Favorite character? Which of the 2
Mike
did you like more?
Mikey.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
liked Mike the best.
I like his arc.
Mhm. I love that ending. I just
Yeah,
can't, I can't say it enough, but
yeah.
getting that hopefulness. That's
Yeah,
why if I was in a spot where I, like, was completely down bad and was thinking that it was gonna be impossible to, like, get over someone, I would watch this movie,
yeah,
because it's just,
yeah.
like, him proving to himself that he can move
He
on,
can,
you
yeah, he
know?
can do it. Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah,
alright, I guess we can get to ratings. I'll go first. Um, so Swingers, I gave it a 4 star, 8 out of 10. Found it to be very relatable. I've definitely been in Mikey's shoes before, in terms of relationships and just sort of figuring out what you're doing with your life, thinking you're not gonna be able to get over someone. Um, and yeah, I just love how low stakes it is. I love how it just kind of follows this group of guys just going out, talking to girls, and just living their life. And it's not really the type of movie that you see a lot, especially nowadays with how films are made pretty much for the sole purpose of making money. So they're huge.
yeah,
But Yeah, really enjoyed it. So
I agree wholeheartedly. I'm actually really happy you showed me this movie. It's a
yeah,
good
I'm
movie.
glad you liked it. It was
Yeah.
my first time watching it too. So
Oh, really? My actually, what's
yeah,
funny is a friend of mine, my friend Steve, has been telling me to watch this movie for like years, and I just like whatever. Like I was like, yeah, but I completely forgot. Like it was time passed, and then you recommended it, and then we watched.
yeah.
But
So would you give it?
I gave it 4 stars. Sorry, I gave it a 10. Again, like you pretty much summed it up. Low stakes, just very relatable, and the ending is just it's nice that it's like a breakup movie that ends on like a high note. Usually, well, not that, but like the tone of the movie is more on like positive.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, it's very hopeful.
yeah,
So
that's a word.
all right.
But yeah,
Uh, that'll I guess wrap things up. I
yeah.
Just because of how busy I've been over the past couple weeks, I didn't put up any question polls, so no Q&A this week.
Well,
But
for those of you out there,
yeah, for those few that were getting ready to ask us questions. Um, but yeah, I guess I'll recommend my list for the next episode, and then you
yeah,
could say the film you want to do.
yeah,
So today is currently Sunday, November 24th. Next week is Thanksgiving, and um, the next episode, which will be episode 62, will drop in December. So I think a good way to sort of kick that off will be for us to discuss our top 10 favorite Christmas movies.
yeah,
I'm hoping I've seen 10. I think I have. So
yeah,
so I think it'll be
yeah.
fun to talk about. There's some obvious ones and maybe some
Yeah,
not so obvious. So
like Red One,
yeah, Red One,
uh,
Morbius.
Mobius. Yeah, there's a Christmas tree in there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, what
Yeah.
movie should we
So
talk about?
in that vein, I actually wanted to recommend I mean, it's a Christmas movie, right? Technically, well, I told Matt
Which
what
one?
it is already.
Okay.
But I wanted to recommend The Holdovers, which I think is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely consider that a Christmas movie because the whole thing is
Um,
like the holdover
the
is
whole
during
yeah
the
during
Christmas
Christmas
holiday.
time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a whole part of it. Um, but yeah, it came out last year, right?
Yeah.
I actually watched it on a plane, and I fucking loved it. So I've never actually like, I want to like sit down and watch it on actual TV. You've seen it before too, right?
Yeah,
So
I saw it in theaters. I
yeah,
loved it. It was
but
it
we
was
never
I
actually like spoke about it though.
yeah, we not on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure we spoke about it like
Yeah,
in real life.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it was in my top 5 last year. I really loved it.
yeah,
So, I'm glad to I was gonna watch it again like this holiday season anyway, so
yeah,
I'd be happy to discuss it.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely.
So, all right. I guess that'll wrap things
I'll
up
wrap
for
it
the
up.
episode. So, yeah, if you guys are still here, please do us a favor, follow us on our social medias.
Yeah,
Everything will be linked in the link tree in the description. If you're listening on any podcast platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. It'll really help with
yeah,
the algorithm. And yeah, I guess we'll also talk about Moana 2
yeah,
next episode and
and
something else. I don't know, but
wolves probably that werewolf movie.
werewolves. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Peace.